at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
I remember when I lost my mind. Yeah.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination from the international fake station in this IT nightmare we call life. We've got our good co-pilot and friend up here. Something Wong is with us here, and he's making sure he rolls the doobies and makes sure that the life support stays on so that we can continue to broadcast. And no, you perverts, that's a number. It's 80085, just so you know. Everybody thinks it says boobs, but it doesn't. It's because you're dirty-minded people. That's why you're filthy, bad. Go flog yourself. Wow. So how's everybody doing today? The Ministry of Truth is hard at it again. Last night's show, I got off the show, and I look and it says, your video is blocked in all territories and countries and everywhere. Nobody's allowed to look at your video. And I'm like, what the fuck for? And I looked, and it was because we showed shit from the Olympics. So I had to cut that out. And then the other was that Russian comedy piece they did on the future Olympics, showing where they had like trans rowboating and all that dumb shit. And that one is blocked worldwide as well. You're not allowed to see that shit anywhere. So the Ministry of Truth is hard at it. People have been noting that when they go to search for Donald Trump, no suggestions even come up, like when you're starting to type something into a search engine. Let's try it here live. Let's see what we can get out of that. Let's see what happens. I'll use Bing, and then we'll go over to Google and see what that looks like. So we'll share this screen. We'll go into this. Is this the one we want? Yeah, that's the one. All right. So hang on. Somebody found it necessary to dingy dang me here all of a sudden. Oh, it's Brandon. It's all right. We can look at that later. All right. So what we're going to do here is let's see what happens when we type in D-O-N-A. Oh, so he does come up on here. He does come up on here right as soon as I put in D-O-N-A. And it shows him as the 45th president. All right. Let's see what happens if we go to Google. A lot of people were bitching about this. They might have fixed it. So let's see what happens if I go to Donald Trump. Nope, it comes up now. Comes up now. Okay, so they fixed that. Either that or somebody was just bullshitting. Which probably is the case. There's buttered biscuits. What's happening, buddy?
I told you I was going to join you, buddy.
Right on, right on.
Yeah, man.
So that there's obviously. So how long ago was that shit they were talking about that? Did you see that where people were posting that when you try to search for Donald Trump that it doesn't come up?
No, I missed the beginning. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, what they
What
were
you're talking
saying.
about.
There's been people saying, like when you start typing something into the search engine, suggestions just start coming up for what you're probably looking for based on popular searches. There was people accusing Google of nothing would come up at all, and even after you typed up the full name Donald Trump. But I just tried it and it came right up. So I don't know if they were bullshitting or whether or not they fixed it. You got to be careful. There's information warfare, and you got to verify.
Yeah, everything. You got to verify everything for sure.
Yeah, you do. You got to verify every fucking thing.
Just because somebody says something doesn't mean it's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
go look for yourself, kids. Go look for yourselves.
Well, they've gone in and changed again. Like, you remember when they had the definition of level, said that it went with the curvature of the surface of Earth's water, right?
Right.
Which was actually
Will Duffy was going to look up that day. Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I'm going to here because they changed
it again.
They changed it again. All right, because it was
that's a Merriam-Webster again.
Yeah,
on the same.
It was word magic before, because yes, it's true. It does. Level does conform with the with the surface of Earth's water, or the curvature of Earth's water, which there is none. So that makes it true, but it gives you the assumption that Earth's water has curvature. So that was word magic, and now they've got it. Let me see here. I'll bring it up real quick. What's up, Lowry?
What's up, man?
Hey, Lowry.
Yeah. What's up, Butter Biscuits? Yeah.
What's up, Lowry? I never met you, man. I do know you, though.
We're gonna.
I know you, but I don't know you. I never met you, but I know you because I watched you on what's the name of it? The guy that does the ACDC.
He's a stream whore.
Yeah, I'm a stream whore. But like, I get on the streams that I want to get on, and this is one that I want to get on. So
that's me.
And we're gonna have a good conversation tonight because there's so much.
You see number 6 there? That's the one, and it says a line or surface cuts perpendicularly all plumb lines that it meets, and hence would everywhere coincide with a surface of still water. That was not there before.
What the hell does plumb lines mean?
Well, plumb line is vertical.
Can you click on it?
Sure.
That's what. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing that either. I mean, it was usually number 2, I think it was, under adjective, and they said, around that.
So there's a plumb line, a line as a cord that has at one end a weight such as a plumb bob, and is used to specially determine verticality. So
now they're going to put this whole thing. They're going to put water. And they're going to put something in the water that's sitting on the water, and then they're going to sink something under the water, and they're going to say it's not vertical. You understand? No. I'm saying this is what the Globers are going to use, and they're going to say, "See, it's not vertical."
Yeah,
you understand? It's not horizontal because this one sinks and this one's buoyant. So now we got 2 different things, and therefore, you understand? That's the bullshit that they're going to pull. That's exactly what FTW is going to use. And that's what Mick Loon's going to use.
Well, who cares? Does anybody still care about what they have to say? I mean, the amount of times that myself, Flatzoid, Witsit, everybody in the flat earth has debated these fucking idiots. We've shown them to be wrong. They still go with the same thing every time. The only thing they're doing is just giving the same goddamn show over and over and making bank on it. So why does anybody even give a shit what they say?
Because they're at the top of the list and nobody can find your channel.
Why they're at the top of the list.
Reason.
They're at the top of the list
bullshit.
because we keep giving them fucking attention.
That's right.
We keep giving them attention. Without us, they don't have.
I think everybody's done with them, and once we stop giving them any attention at all, allowing them on any channel. We know who they are. I mean, you've given them, how many chances have they had? How many times have they heard the same argument and they know exactly what we're going to say? We know exactly what they're going to say, and they're still going to pull the same bullshit every single time. Doesn't even matter if we come with like 5, 6, 10, 20, 30 different explanations. They'll still come with one and one only, and that'll be it. So,
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying about it. It's just like, oh my God, he's just the same thing over and over. He's just a rude fuck. The only thing he does, they're not civil at all. So why did anybody even want to engage with him in the first damn place? That's what I'd like to know. And then when every one of their arguments is totally destroyed, they still come back with the same bullshit, trying to run their same game. And it's like, okay, look, we already proved what you are. Okay. Now we know what it's about. You just want to keep having these shows so that you can keep making money off us.
Yeah. Without
us, you're nobody. Nobody even cares about you.
No, they're going to be gone soon. I give them 2 years and they'll be well upon their way.
It becomes like
they already are. As far as I'm concerned,
they already are. No, they really are. I mean, obviously, but nobody's going to listen to them within 2 years. That's the end of it. But go ahead, Lowry. Is it Lowry or Lowry?
Lowry, that's fine. Some people call me Larry. Doesn't matter. We're really up against it's like you've got two blocks of thinking. You've got the block of thinking that is like the natural mainstream narrative, and then you actually have facts that back it up. You have emotions over facts. So like we're providing facts over and over and over again. There's a certain block of people that are fighting back against us that don't understand how to deal with facts. I don't know if they're NPCs. I don't fucking know what they are. The trolls, I don't fucking know what they are, right? But yeah, you want to supply some evidence against your position. And I just don't understand. What we're dealing with here is we really are dealing with a whole block of the population that never learned what evidence is behind your position. They just have a position. It's based on their emotions. There's no evidence behind them. There's no evidence. They don't even know how to do with evidence. They don't know how to deal with it.
Fuck. I'm about to reboot. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you just froze up. Very cool. Go ahead, Lowry.
But yeah, what's really important is sorry, Jeff Gasshead. I was yelling. I hope your wife is sleeping okay. No, but what you have is you get this one step, which is my emotional feeling of the globe, my emotional feeling of this place that I live in is really powerful, but then you're like, you go to the second step, which is like the evidence is behind whether or not this is what you actually live on. They can't go there. They don't have the capacity to go there, and they lose themselves in an eddy in the side of a stream that they get caught it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're showing you evidence. Will you look at the evidence? Will you look at what we showed you?
No, I would get an F on my exam if I was to do this, and I would lose my presidential of an A+ on my test. And I was the smartest kid in my class. How can you tell me this? I was the smartest.
When did we lose that? When did we lose the evidences? Like, when did we actually lose that? Like, where was it where we walked away from like, okay, so I have a position, and then here's my evidences for why I have a position. And I've been going through this for like 10 years now. I've been in this fucking flat earth, fucking whatever it is. Yep. I'm like, look, here's the evidences. Here's the evidences. We got it. Will you look at it? When they don't look at it, then you start to see the maniacal fucking it's fucking crazy, right? I don't even know what to do with it. I don't know how to handle it.
Well, here's how bad this shit's getting with this and how they want to censor everything. And it all depends on how much pull. I mean, think about this. There's no video, so you can't show anything because we removed it. I want to point to, like, I don't know if you were when I first started up, I told you I had to go back and cut out shit from the Olympic ceremonies, as well as that comedy thing I showed about the Russians. Remember that thing with the Russians showing what the future Olympics were going to be like?
Yeah.
And they had like
I saw the blue Smurf dude that was laying on the thing in front of the last
Right.
crap
Well,
that
what
was-
I'm talking
what
about is okay. So what they've done, because there was so much backlash over that shit internationally,
they just cut it.
they
cut it all out.
removed it.
Yeah, yep.
They removed
Deleted
it,
everything.
and then what? Look at anybody that's showing video of it is getting strikes for
Well,
showing
you still go to
copyrighted material.
BitChute and Rumble. That's about the only
Right.
place you can
So
go find it.
what
Yeah.
I'm getting at though is I had to go in and edit out some shit because it was blocked worldwide, not just in some territories or in this country or that country, worldwide blocked. Now, what the fuck is that about? Right? So they go in at the stroke of a key. They can change definitions. They can change information, just like in Orwell's 1984, where one day we've always been at war with these people. The next day they burn that up. No copies of that exist. Now it's, oh, we've always been allies with these people and shit. It's the complete opposite. And so it doesn't matter what's true. This is how people's minds operate. It doesn't matter if it's true. It matters if it's on Google. That's what matters. Everything matters about where it come from. If it came from off the internet,
smartest people because now we have Google. You can Google everything. You don't need to know anything. Freaking retards.
that's pretty much it.
Well, yeah, I mean, so we were talking about a whole generation of least, like, so and all the guys in the chats. I'm turning my volume down just so you know. The when you come from a place where you've been battling through the Dewey Decimal System, in a library, and then you suddenly have the internet now, and you have all apparently all fucking intelligence of all time at your fingertips. It's really like for those of us that went through the Dewey Decimal System, it's kind of awesome, you know? And I'm like, how is everyone else not going through this and figuring it out? It's like, it's truly like, I mean, Sav, you're not, you're past Gen X. I'm Gen X, you know, but it's like, we learned how to search for information.
Yeah.
With
I'm like right at the creation of
I'm
Gen
1982, guys. All right, there you go.
I'm 1975. I'm approaching 50. I spent a ton of time in the fucking, you know, the card catalog, and searching for stuff, right? So, but like now we have the entire world at our fingertips, and now we're actually, like, a lot of us, at least from I guess our generation, our collective generation that we're talking about here, you and I guys and our family or whatever. It's weird that nobody else wants to even look at it. It's right there. All the information is right there.
Well, we think. And if they've got control over it, though, you see it's much more effort to go in and remove all the copies of a book or or anything like that. You know, a burning of the Library of Alexandria, which I don't think really happened. I think that shit was moved before the place was burnt down. I think that shit's in the Vatican right now. But by controlling information, you control the people. So where do we go to find out what happened in the past? We have to rely on
the machine, man.
His story. And so consequently, anything that we run across that threatens to dispel his story, and I'm talking about archaeological anomalies that we find, you know, like how do you have a human skull in a vein of coal, for instance, and things like that. Then that disrupts the official narrative, and they can't have that. So they're going to attack you full force. Oh, you're just making that up, or you're a crackpot, blah, blah, blah. That's what they want to do in order to give more validation, to keep the validation of their story that they've given to you. We take it as gospel because it's written in old books and it's held in houses of academia. And we have a perception of what those things are that may or may not be altogether correct.
Yeah, and Rothschilds and everything else.
An unwarranted trust in academia, especially given its track record. They have a really high unwarranted trust in academia.
Yeah, and what you get from a lot of that, Dave, is like, again, it took me a lot of years to get my arms around. If you control the past, you control the future, you control the present. That was an Orwell thing. Like, one of my favorite authors. Like we're now getting after the past. We're all getting after it and figuring out what the fuck is this shit. A bunch of books got printed. They were written by men. We don't know if it's true or not. We're going to look at it. Well, you know, and then you apply it to like, what do you look at in reality? Look at buildings. You look at things that are on the, you know, on the dirt that you're walking around on. You have all these things that you're trying to fucking work through. And
here's
then
what you got to look at though, Lowry. Do you think that Sir Eric Blair's book was a prophecy or predictive programming? Because let's face it, this guy was actually one of the elite. You know him as George Orwell.
yes,
But he was actually Prime Minister Tony Blair's uncle, I think.
is that really? That's new to me. That's new to me.
Yeah, Sir Eric Blair is his real name. He was knighted. He was knighted.
Are you dipping gravy right now? Are you dropping gravy? I've never heard that.
I thought everybody knew that.
It's not. That's not really like mainstream, but like okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about
He's a knighted. Orwell was his pen name. So this guy gets knighted. And he's writing books about the control system and how bad it is. Come on now. He went to Eton College. He went to the same schools as the rest of these elite. Of course he knew the plan. He didn't write a story of fiction. He told you what was going to fucking happen.
So if you're going down this road, I think we should probably address it. If that's what it is, we're talking about multi-winded down narratives over the course of say 100 years, right? So like if Orwell, even Orwell, who I've trusted for my whole life, and he pretty much lays it out exactly. He's a spin. Is that what you're saying? He's a spin too?
Kind of. I mean, it's not out of the realm. You know, what he wrote down was, you know, like, hey, you know, you can look at this as a work of fiction. This is the way I look at the publication of that. I think his attitude was like, you're most certainly able to look at this as a work of fiction. But if you're able to extrapolate and war game this shit in your mind, you can see that current events as they are progressing are going to lead to this. And by golly, they did. They certainly did. Some places faster than it has here. We haven't woke up because we're the domesticated cats on the soft, cushy pillow. We don't know hardship. We don't know what it's like. Okay.
So what do you make of this? And Dave, this is really.
Did you hear what Trump said even? And people cheered it. He said that it was disgraceful people burning the American flag and that they should have it so that it's mandatory that anybody that burns an American flag, it's an automatic 1-year sentence in jail.
Yeah, you guys remember Bill Hicks? Do you remember? Do you ever watch his thing?
Think about 1 sec, man. Think about that. Think about that. If you go out with your money and buy a flag, which is now your personal property, and you use your First Amendment right to protest your government by burning it, shredding it, whatever the case may be, it's your property. You're harming no one. And this cat wants you to have to do a year in jail for it. And people cheered that. People fucking cheered that.
Yeah, there was we're in a whole wormhole here right now, and we're gonna have the conversation tonight. Just the fact that they put patches on their ears is really weird. But it's so deeper than that. Like we've got a cult, an actual cult issue happening right now. We've got a bunch of people that believe in a guy that controlled opposition. And nobody knows about like how controlled opposition works. You've got two spinning narratives, and then you bounce between them. That's the whole dichotomy trap that you get trapped in. That's the Hegelian dialectic, whatever. You get trapped in it, you know. So now we've got a shitty situation with say the Democratic Party, if you want to play that. You got a shitty situation with the Republican Party with a Trump that nobody likes that. But guess what? He got his photo op. So he got his photo op, and now he's like I can't see how he doesn't get elected because you got a bunch of people that believe that he actually got shot. So we have two spinning narratives, right? What's the actual real narrative? Where are we? Like we spin outside of those two goalposts and look at actually what's going on. What the fuck is actually going on? I'm looking for that other party. Who's the other party? Do I even need to look for another party? Is it that much bullshit that they spin you? They put you like a pinball between two fucking things. That's the
Yes.
dichotomy trap,
That's
right?
it.
Red.
That's all they're going to give you.
Right. So,
Well,
like, what the fuck
you-
is that? Is it, who's the Antichrist, or what the fuck is going on? I would love to talk
have you
about
war game this? And listen, you're not even going to know who he is. Okay, that's the whole thing. For all you know, the Antichrist is a guy named Jesus that works as a janitor at the fucking UN. You don't know.
You'd never know. You'd never know.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. But this whole thing has gotten so out of whack. The way people, like you're saying, they get brainwashed. But think about this. You remember the last election? I'm sure who could forget? There's no way Trump could lose. There's no way Biden's going to win. Look at this guy's numbers. Look at the fact that this guy's out there having rallies with all the 12 people out there, and he barely comes out of his basement. Trump's out there with these huge rallies, thousands of people, and all this other shit, right? What happened?
But now we see why he had to do it, too.
So now what's to stop him this time? There's no way Trump can lose. Look at this. Kamala's retarded, blah, blah, blah. The press is obviously in their the tank for her, blah, 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 right? Okay, Charlie Brown, come kick that football again. I promise I won't jerk it away this time.
I mean,
have they done shit about the voting machines? No.
Nothing.
So what the fuck is wrong with people's minds, man?
They'll use it on the opposite end this time. All right, listen to this. Hold on. Hopefully this is the whole part of it. I don't know.
Topic, and I'm going to try to stop the mic. I think somebody said it was too loud. A really important topic about nationalism, patriotism, the place where you live, like a piece of land that we have friends in. They have friends that are down the block where we exchange goods, we do things with each other. I don't think a lot of people give a lot of like effort to civics. So like I went through the Constitution. I went through a lot of other documents that like some people way back when said that we think this is how it works. I like freedom of speech. I don't own a gun. I'm in New York City. I'd like to own a gun. I should, but like, we've got a thing, a document that apparently protects us from a lot of fucking nefarious shit. And
I want to stop you there. No, that document hasn't got shit to do with it. All right. If you read the preamble, it says, these rights are granted to you by your creator, inalienable, endowed by your creator.
Inalienable.
All right. Now,
Indeed.
what is it? George Washington wasn't my creator. Neither was Thomas Jefferson or any other of those.
None of them.
The Bill of Rights, which they had to protest Jefferson they sent his ass off to France while they were doing this. And he got wind of it and he realized that there should be a Bill of Rights for the common man in there. And so he had to actually petition to have the Bill of Rights included into the Constitution, which is the only fucking part of the Constitution that has shit to do with you.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree 1,000,000% on that one.
So what that is, it's a list of inalienable or unalienable rights. In other words, what that means is no lien can be placed upon them. Okay.
Sovereign.
You can't even give that right away. It's inherent. You have a right to say what you want. You have a right to defend yourself. It's all right there. It's natural law. All they did with the Bill of Rights was give a list of shit that the government cannot stop or restrict. They cannot do anything about those things because they are your unalienable rights. Okay. That's what it is. The piece of paper, you can burn that fucking shit up, but those rights existed before that piece of paper and they'll exist long after that piece of paper.
So who are these fucking pussies that can't fucking stand up for themselves? Literally. Like
all the people that
330 million. Yeah, 330 million Americans. Yeah.
I mean, we have
the
to
other
do
5
it
million maybe didn't.
We watched a totally corrupt electoral process take place last time, right? And nobody did shit. The best they could muster up was a self-guided tour through the fucking Capitol building, which they all got in trouble for because the idiots didn't realize you don't have any rights in DC because you're not in the United States.
Yeah, there's no.
You're in the
there's no
city
hospitals.
state.
There's no
You are
hospitals
in.
there.
You're in a city state. It's not part of the United States.
There's no
Just like
hospitals.
Vatican is not part of Rome. It's not part of Italy. It's a city state. Same thing with London.
But why can't anyone just like grow some balls and stand up and fucking be themselves? That's the fucking thing I've been struggling with for years.
I'm
It goes
doing it.
congruent with like all this flat earth shit and everything else. It's like, fuck.
Did you get
guys.
arrested during the
Stand up.
COVID thing at all, Lowry, or
I got
have any
I got
cops
thrown-
called any?
I got thrown off of train. I got thrown off a train because I didn't wear my thing. And
Yeah.
I got, but like, where the fuck are the fucking bastards that, well, not bastards, but like the awesome dudes who will stand up for their fucking shit? Where are they? I guess I guess it's us. I don't know.
There's
like,
more
fuck
than
all these
you
fuckers.
think, but yeah,
What it's going to
don't put
take
yourself
is
down.
a glorious no. That's all. You don't have to lift.
Once they
you
realize
don't
the
have to
globe
lift
is
your hand.
not true, then all this shit's gonna fall through. That's
You
the
don't
point.
have to ever. You don't have to raise your hand in violence.
No.
All you
No,
have
but
to
you,
do
no, but you
is-
have to, Dave. You have to fucking stand up.
That's what I'm saying. And how do you stand up?
You fucking talk about it.
Or
we talk
no,
about it.
no. Here's what
we
you
can,
do.
We can start shooting people if you want
No,
to. But like,
no,
in the meantime,
no.
we fucking
No,
stand
you
up
don't
for
shoot
it.
people,
Just
man. We're
stop.
cool on that.
You just stop. You just stop.
Yeah.
Stop registering
Stop
your
playing their
vehicles.
games.
Stop
Yeah.
registering your vehicles. Stop
Stop
getting
paying
the
your
driver's
taxes.
license. Like if
Stop
what
voting.
the fuck would they do tomorrow if like just say 10% of the population took their fucking license plates off? What would they do?
Nothing. No, there's nothing they can do.
There's nothing they can do.
What's up, Nate John?
Hello. I've not been on Sav's show yet, so I thought I would say hi.
No, you have not.
I never
You
really
have
got to
not.
meet you. You were on the other day, and I kind of missed you the other day. But
Mhm.
I've seen you on Flats before, so good to meet you, man.
I think we're at a point like where we have to have really hard conversations, and I don't want this to go to a hot war. But I think somebody has to start fucking saying shit. But like, because I read all the documents, I read everything, how we were protected as sovereign people. That's a nod to you.
Right.
But like, we have to literally start to
Not
understand
citizens.
that we have a power, and we're not fucking playing up to it.
Stop
using it.
being members. Stop being members of a corporation.
Take your money out of the bank so they can't
It's not
charge.
just that. It's not just that. Are you a United States citizen?
No, we don't want to be. Absolutely not. I mean,
Don't check that box anymore.
don't check it. Yeah.
Don't check that box anymore.
So, did you guys see the most recent Bohemian Grove thing? They've
Yes.
already taken it down.
Hey,
You know
Nate, can you mute for a second until you talk?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so
Yeah, there's some kind of really bad noise coming through.
It was Dancer. Dancer was the guy that had it up there. It's
I
gone
saw
now.
that.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
completely gone. And Alex Jones didn't have that taken down, but you could see he snuck in there like 3 different times to the Bohemian Grove. He was doing it beforehand, but it's off his channel now. If you go look at it, it's called Dancer.
Yeah.
DANCER.
That's out of the bag. We know what they
Or they
do.
let him in. Or they
We
let him
know. We know that they do.
No, they
it.
didn't let him in. I don't think so.
We know that they do it. We know what they do there. It's a big old freaking homo fest is basically what it comes down to. And these people are weird. And yes, they decide. And listen, this is all in violation of the Logan Act, just like the Bilderberg meeting is a violation of the Logan Act, and nobody enforces it. Nobody enforces that. And right from the beginning, it should be a violation of the Logan Act, which is treasonous.
Isn't that
But-
they're just doing things they used to do in the Bible?
Well, it's very
Now they
very
just
very
do it
important
in
conversation to
secret
have
religion.
because we're literally defending our own land at this point in time. And it sounds so stupid. And you'd think we'd never actually have to have this conversation. We're defending our own land now, and that's what's actually happening. And like we're starting with conversation. I don't want it to go to fucking hot war or anything else, but like that's what we're doing. I mean, because they are coming in, guys. Whether you like it or not, you're being fucking invaded, guys.
Now listen,
and, it's what it is. It's truth. I mean, it's
somewhere there's a dry cleaning service for all these fucking robes and shit or something, you know. I mean,
I was gonna say probably their own.
Come on, guys. So, like you got to admit that what we used to think as our normal, natural position of hanging out in our little land that we live on this thing, we're being invaded. Okay, so like it's not like a paranoid thing. It's more so like, what's that? Sorry.
What do you mean being invaded? We've been invaded a long time. Don't you know that this country is in a state of war and you're an enemy combatant?
Yes. And that's and sorry, Dave. Yes, you're way ahead of the fucking
people
schedule.
don't know that. They don't know that. It's true.
Yeah, but like what we're doing right now is we need to converse this in conversation and say that that the place that we live in, that we were raised out, but we came out of our mothers, we came out of our things. We are under attack. That's what it is. And if we don't acknowledge that, we don't understand who our enemy is, then we're fucked. You know, I never thought I would have to actually talk about this in my whole life. I really didn't. I like playing music, you know, but it's like, fuck, dude, they're really actually coming at us. So like, identify your enemy, read Sun Tzu, understand what's going on. We have some people that are not, they're fucks. They're fucking fucks. That's what they are.
This is right in line with what we're talking about, and this will get us started.
The system is rigged. They want us to think it'll protect us, but that's a lie. We protect us. We do. Nobody else. Not the companies, not the scientists, not the government. Us.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. The big, wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls.
The good news is the elite across the world trust each other more and more. The bad news is that in every single country they were polling, the majority of people trusted that elite less. So
the owners of this country don't want that. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Slaves. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant.
Look at everything. I know nothing.
Yeah.
The late great George Carlin, man. Good for you, buddy.
And that was back when there was.
And they called themselves elite. But if they're elite, then we're the super elite. Sure.
You just had to get Trump there at the end.
Well,
you know, I was like,
I want to address that word, elite. Let's pronounce it correctly. Elite. What's L? Oh no! Now we're down the rabbit hole.
God.
God, yeah.
Elohim.
The light of God, yeah. Or it's Lucifer. Yeah.
So these guys have literally, I say these guys, whatever, it's political theater or whatever, but like, you know, I went through the whole phase, and like all you MAGA people out there that'll listen to this, I get you. I know that you want your guy. I know that you want your guy to fucking save you from your thing or whatever. But it's we've been doing this for fucking 20 years, and it looks like there's controlled opposition. It really does. It looks like Trump didn't get his ear shot off. And nothing happened. So what do you do now that you know you got fucking both one side that's been attacking the other side? This little fucking bingo ball that's going on in a, what do you do with that now? What are we gonna do? What's actually gonna come up out of it?
Make asylums great again? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right.
Make asylum. Is that it?
I don't know.
We got to put all these homos back in that. No, I'm just kidding. Asylum.
I mean, if you just walk through this, if you just walk through this thing, it's like, oh, holy shit! It looks like the Antichrist is going to pop up out of this whole counter thing, and then you're like, I wasn't raised in religion or dogma. I didn't have any of that, but I'm like, shit. So I just watched a fake assassination attempt. A guy that his ear magically fucking healed in 2 weeks. And then we have this other thing, which is like the complete other side, which is like Kamala, which is like complete bullshit. So what is the actual trail on this? Like what's going to happen? Like what actually is going to be the actual fucking thing? What are you going to show us? Okay. JFK comes up from death and he's the Antichrist, or there's an Antichrist in, one of the fucking royals or whatever. It just doesn't fucking matter. It's like, I can see it now. I can see it, and like everybody else out here, I know everybody else out here listening can see it too. It's two sides of a fucking, it's the, what do they call it? The allegory of the cave, Dave? Is that was the allegory of the cave?
Yeah, right? Well, it's, the TV is. I mean, absolutely. Is
when you see the reflection of the outside world on the
right.
Yeah, and they're counting on you to believe in that. And
absolutely.
Then yet you have an escape route up behind you, and that's what I'm trying to find. That's literally what I'm trying to find.
Remember when we were looking at that thing the other night, and we were trying to figure out, did Trump say, "I'm not a Christian"?
Yeah, that one.
Well, dig this, man.
For sure.
This right here, it says Trump secretly converted to Judaism years ago. Member of the most powerful Masonic lodge in the world, Chabad Lubavitch.
Yeah.
We saw pictures of him years ago on the wall. Hakan.
He sold all his kids to the Jews.
Paul was a Jew and he was a Christian, but anyways,
I did see when we were.
Well, there again, hold up. Now you can't be both. That's like being a Republican Democrat. Okay, you can't be both. You can't be a Jew and a Christian.
Well, the Jews had
by very definition, the Jews do not accept Christ. Okay, Jew is not a race. It's not a race.
No, it's not, and that's a word made up later on. But here's the thing, though. Like he was quote unquote a Jew as far as the Bible's concerned. But he was looking. He wasn't looking, but the others were looking for, for Christ to come, right? So you understand that. So they understood that the Messiah was going to be coming. The others, the Jews themselves that we know as of today, have rejected and do not believe in Christ. So Judah were the ones. Judah, not the Jews, but Judah were seeking, and there were also Semites and others that were. Like the woman at the well that was expecting what is this? Who's this guy? I don't know. I'm going to grow my beard out and shave my forehead and grab some glasses. And I think that might be me in a few years. I don't know.
It could be. Listen, I want to hear what they got to say.
It's like, no, I'm seeing my future here. Wait a minute. No.
You want to hear what they think the Messiah is. Here it is right here.
Yeah. Oh, no.
The first non-Jewish Messiah is Cyrus, who was chosen to assist the Jews in reestablishing themselves in the land of Israel after their 70-year exile in Babylon. The current non-Jewish Messiah was chosen to be of service to the Jewish people and the Jewish Messiah. President Trump's right ear was grazed in a symbolic gesture of Exodus 21:6, where the Torah states that a servant who wants to remain with his master needs to have his right ear pierced. Trump was designated as God's servant and anointed one, just like Cyrus the Great almost 2,400 years ago. We have clarified in several videos that the absolute deadline for the redemption is by the end of the Jewish year 5787, which corresponds to October 2nd, 2027. 1,167 days from today. Thus, the redemption will surely occur during Donald Trump's tenure. And I have good reason to believe Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins of Esav through offering his assistance in rebuilding the Holy Temple on the Temple Mount and establishing the Jewish kingdom over all of mankind in Jerusalem. Perhaps it is no accident that the numeric value of Donald Trump in Hebrew is the same as Messiah, son of David, Mashiach ben David.
Just fuck this bullshit. It's bullshit.
What
it's
is
fucking
However,
bullshit. I can't.
Donald
fucking
Trump is
listen to this
mistaken
shit.
if he thinks he was chosen to make America great again.
Now look, there's a lot of people behind that. They gave this chump the fucking Moshiach crown. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got the
I'm looking at him, it's
commemorative
like bullshit. It's just everything is bullshit. Everything. Not just
No,
certain
man.
things. All the things are bullshit. And I'm just like,
everything.
fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. You know, it's just like, it's bullshit all the way around. There's people talking about, oh, I know how it's going to go down. Like, whatever. And like, you know what's funny is like, we actually figured, like we read the tea leaves really well. And
yeah, but Lowry, this guy's got a lot of books behind him. So I don't see a whole lot of books behind you. So
that's true. That's true. I don't know a lot of books behind me. But it's like, it truly is. It's like somebody's talking about how they know how the world's going to work moving forward, and they keep doing it. They keep fucking doing it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter what religion you're in or whatever. Like, you know, I'm Christian friendly. That's where I come from. But it's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck everyone about telling me how it's going to go forward.
Right.
You know, because everyone else is just like, oh, this is how it's going to go. This is how it's going to happen.
This gets worse. This gets worse.
Okay,
Listen,
go ahead. Sorry, I was ranting. Sorry, go ahead.
You're all right, man.
He will no doubt do a lot of good things to strengthen our economy, protect our borders, and allow religious freedom to flourish. But America will never become a great country on its own, because Esav's days are numbered. All our elite institutions and centers of power and influence are rotten through and through. The majority of Americans under 30 who are college educated and who are the future leaders of America support the vicious monsters of Hamas rather than the holy and courageous soldiers of the IDF. No human being, even Donald Trump, can reverse this. No. The greatness of America does not lie in its own success. America will be great when the Messiah comes. And the leader of this country, on behalf of all the good people in this country, will humbly present himself to the Jewish Messiah and ask him to accept the United States of America into a new alliance of countries who accept the leadership of the Messiah.
He just said it perfectly.
A new united
America will not accept anything but lies in our Messiah. That's it. Because that is what made him great before, was the deception of Satan. Period.
Yeah, don't mess with.
Unfortunately, guys, we live in that country. That is it. We don't live in some fairy tale land of the free and the brave. We live in the land of the home of the slave. I mean, seriously,
Well,
you guys can't see that by now?
You
My
understand what he's talking about here. He's talking about the United States taking the lead in bringing in a one world government based out of Jerusalem, which is exactly what the Zionists and the Greater Israel Project is all about, man.
Yeah, the Zionists are like, if like, it's a tough read, but the Zionists is the hardest book to read. And yes, if we're in a war, which we are, we need to know who our enemy is. And guess who our enemy is? They writ it down in books. It's a Zionist position. They don't think that the rest of us are human beings. I think we're cattle. All right, I think we're goy. Yeah, that's how Zionists look at the rest of us. That's our
Let's
enemy.
go to 7-Eleven, everybody. Let's go get some goyim.
It comes down. Yeah, go yum candy bars.
Delicious.
It comes right down to this. So you've got.
Anybody else got something better on that? And that's what I've always
spiritual battle.
If people are all like, what kind of a government do you want? Right?
I don't want a government. I don't want any of that.
Nobody. It's just like with president. They say, which guy do you want to be president? Well, you didn't ask me the very first important question. And that is, do you want a president? Then you get to ask me who I want. But you have to first establish it. Where is that a foregone conclusion that I want this? I don't want any of this shit. In fact, it's so bad to this point in my life that I look at it that, to me, the biggest danger to any prosperity or my livelihood, as far as anything is concerned, the biggest detriment to that is government. And my government, primarily, not China, not Russia, not Ukraine, not any of these other fucking clowns.
Local.
But it's Iran, man. Bomb, Iran.
You know, they haven't attacked
anybody after this crap for years.
Iran hasn't attacked anybody in over 250 fucking years.
Yep.
I mean, who's coming after? Who's coming after
everything on them?
Like
that whole war, the attack on the Middle East was for no reason, I would say. Well, not no reason, but that whole it's another thing that shows America was never really built for the freedom of people. Even the whole manifest destiny from its inception.
Complete bullshit.
You guys know
we got to spread democracy, man. That's communism.
Do you know who Theodore Herzl is? Does anybody here know who
No,
Theodore
I haven't heard of him.
or what?
But it sounds Jewish to me.
It is, and he was one of the founding fathers of modern day political Zionism, and he is quoted as saying in the late 1800s, the late 19th century, he said, it is important that we increase the suffering of the Jews. The anti-Semite will become our greatest ally in achieving our goal of a Jewish homeland.
There's a lot of the idea that they can use this victimhood because they have self-imposed psyops attacking themselves, right?
Hey Dave, can I do not an expose, but a really quick talk about like that the Khazarian mob, the Silk Road?
I don't think there's any way to stop you, so yeah, go ahead. No.
Yeah, I was just saying. I was saying like. When you want to achieve power, you have to hide behind something else. And my understanding, at least, and again, I'm still learning this shit, but you know, if you hide behind a society, say call it the Jews who are not actually bad Jews, they're just Jews. And you're hiding within their ranks. You're hiding within their ranks, and then you do bad shit. And you basically get a bunch of your other like Khazarian friends, Silk Road friends, to get along with this, and you capture, you capture a lot of money in media. Right. You get that. You're still you look like you're a Jew inside of the Jewish.
Man, we're all veteran truthers here.
Okay, right, so everybody gets this, right? So it's
like Lowry, look, it's no different than fascists. It's no different than fascists that hide behind the Christian flag. Okay.
True.
Yeah. It's like, are you really a Christian? Are you really a Jew? Are you? What the fuck are you?
Right.
What the fuck are you?
So what happens when a fundamentalist fascist Christian, like a real radical fucking guy, goes and blows up an abortion clinic or some shit like that, right? Yeah. Then they say, look what Christians do. Well, your ordinary everyday Christian would probably rather, try to talk to those people and get them to stop doing what they're doing, or at least tell them the moral objectiveness to it. They're not going to exact violence
with their picket signs in the front.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to go kill anybody. Yeah.
But yeah, that whole thing right there. So of course, there again, like that paints all Christians as, oh, look, they blow up abortion clinics and they do this, that, and the other. And you could do the same thing. Well, these people do hide behind that. And when getting to the Ukraine, what you were just saying, which is the former Khazarian Empire, the Khazars, who were a warlike people that were always at war with one another, but also known as name stealers and not to be trusted.
They were the Silk Road bandits. They stole
people's
names.
Yes. Okay. So what happened was, their king, this leader they call the Kagan, he united these warring tribes under a Kabbalistic form of Judaism, an occultish form of Judaism. And then the
Russians that threw them out. The Russians threw them out of the country, Dave.
Yeah.
They threw him out of the country. It's like, you need to go over to Judaism or go to Christianism. We don't want you in here anymore, right? So basically, a bunch of assholes. They're a bunch of fucking assholes. That's what we're really
Khazarians
doing.
weren't Jews anyways, but yeah.
Isn't that what it really is? We got a bunch of fucking assholes. Like, well, if we're going to identify our enemy, it looks like it kind of looks like that. I don't know. I mean, it's
the same thing as Freemasons back in the 1780s and 90s. They were kicked out of everything. They were the exact same people, causing havoc on countries and disrupting everything. And it's exactly the same thing as the Freemasons of today. I mean,
when you practice usury and
why
would like what the fuck is
Bavarian?
What you just said, Lowry, was exactly what people are freaking out about right now. For instance, you just said, well, now that we know basically who the enemy is, you just have to be able to identify it. And it was like, yeah, they did that. They put yellow stars on these people's coats.
So and they want to flip it in front of everybody. They're going to flip it.
And I'm going to put this out there too. I'm going to put this out here. I'm sorry. That 6-pointed star is not the symbol of Judaism. The symbol of Judaism is the star of
so Dave, let me ask you this question.
The symbol of Judaism is the menorah. That is the symbol of Judaism, not the Star of Rephaim, not the yin, the yang. What this is
the
male and the female. The male and the female.
Actually, it wasn't from Solomon. It was from his 900 plus wives and everything else that he had to deal with.
Hey guys, can I ask 2 questions right quick on
earlier
subject?
Saying nothing.
I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but before I forget about it, I always want to know if Trump would have been assassinated, would it have affected our lives any differently? And
no.
And why would they lie is not even a question. I just want to throw that out there.
Remember, guys, he has 33 films behind him. He's an actor of 33, by the way. You saw that earlier, right? Sovereign, go ahead and put that one up. IMB.
So everybody in here, have we identified our enemy? Do we know who's against us? Because there is an enemy. Does anyone know who it is? I'd like to hear it. Anybody?
Yeah, it's Satan.
Antichrist. There's that. There's that. Yeah, I got that one.
Well, I got a neighbor I don't like.
I know where Lowry's getting government, which is the governing of your mind or the enslavement of your mind.
No, he wants names and addresses and bank account numbers.
The walking physically person.
Listen, Lowry, the only way to identify your enemy is spiritually. That's it. They don't wear uniforms. No. They don't have an ethnicity. They don't necessarily have an economic status. Okay?
Yeah. If that was the case,
one-on-one. You have to go by one-on-one. Absolutely.
You had a group of people that murdered about 20 million people over the last 20 years, or not 20 years, 4 years. That thing that happened in 2020. We have a thing. Right? So, like, who are those people? Who the fuck are they? Good I would like to know who the fuck they are.
Good question. So, how do you find that out?
I've been looking, and it's very allopathic. It's very
I popped it up again, Siren.
Well, don't
hold on.
Don't we already know?
Yeah, I think I know.
I don't think we do know, but
the UN and the World Economic Forum, I mean, they're a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's a mental instinct to look for a simple, clearly defined group of people.
Yeah, it's not that simple.
Not that simple.
That's why I said that.
Simple, but that's just lazy thinking.
Yeah, that's why I
would like to know.
I didn't say it was the whole thing. I said it was a part.
Right. So you got to look at who's driving them. Who's driving these organizations?
Who's driving that ship? Who's driving that ship?
Where does the incentive come from? Where does the incentive come from for it to even filter down from in the first place? That's where you have to look. And I'm telling you right now, this is filtering down into the physical realm from the spiritual realm. 100%.
And Dave, whenever no rush, but at some point, I'm here to collect a W that you owe me from a year ago. Regarding what's that stupid movie we argued about? The freedom one, the human trafficking one that you were like, it's the greatest movie
Sound
ever
of
made.
Freedom. Sound of Freedom.
Right. Yes, that one.
What happened now?
Well, I think when I clicked on, I heard you all agreeing that Trump has controlled opposition, which
Absolutely. Well,
yes.
it's really not any.
1,000,000% controlled
Here's what you got to
opposition.
understand. There's only one opposition. Okay.
Right. Okay. Yes.
They make
Here.
a false dichotomy and they play like they're at odds
Right.
with
Yeah.
one
We're agreeing with
and-
each other. That's.
I am
right.
undecided.
So,
So,
like, my whole thing is this: is that this whole assassination thing was a stage production put on by Trump and the rest of the system to make this look like what everybody thinks it is. But they're
Correct.
also leaving it open for every. Look at all the wonderful little conspiracies they gave us right out the gate. Ooh, second shooter. How come this perimeter wasn't sealed off? Blah 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 blah. It's very obvious when we see Trump's ear is not damaged in the least bit.
Oh yeah.
They
Okay.
took the fuck out of this whole thing. They
Anyways, the reason that I got a win from that.
plantation?
Hold on, let me finish while I get the win. The reason why I get a W on Sign of Freedom is I just last night I finished I did a 3-part series going through Trump's Agenda 47, which is his platform. Because he made a little short videos on each point. He'd made 46 of them. Went through almost all of them. Every time human trafficking came up, do you know what movie he praised? Like he basically just pitched your propaganda
It's
movie.
probably the only movie he knows about it. You know, I mean, here's the reason too, and I'm not defending him or anything like that, but if I was in his possession and I was going to use a reference like that, because that's based,
I'm using him as a proxy to say, we know that this dude's fake. I told you this movie's fake. You got the fake dude promoting the fake movie.
Right.
Give me my W.
All right, here's your W, buddy.
Thank you.
You want a G too? You want a G?
Huh?
He wants a gold star to go with that too.
Yeah,
dude.
I want the rest of your cigarettes and
there it is.
And your lunch money too.
That guy
gravity
from
pump.
Sound of Freedom was involved with Hillary Clinton and like child trafficking and all sorts of shit. That guy's a creep.
Yeah. Yep.
I put in the chat there in the private chat, by the way, for Jones Plantation.
So on the thing with
You guys haven't seen it.
what Lowry was talking about and who's our enemy, right? All right, yeah, I could absolutely. I am in total agreement that these usual cast of characters that we see at the forefront are definitely minions that are in.
Dave, we know what our enemies. We know who they are. We know exactly who they are.
But I mean,
everyone's afraid to talk about it. Everybody is afraid.
Oh, listen, they're
to
not the
talk
only
about
ones.
it.
Listen, they're not the only ones. It's only an illusion of different groups. It's an illusion of different groups.
I guess so.
Okay, but they're all fingers of the same fucking hand. Whether it be the Jays, or the Zionists, I'm going to say that because it's not inclusive of all Jews.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk the Zionists, the Masons, the Jesuits. They all seem to be at odds with one another, but they're all part of one big fucking fist.
But if
the
we're in a
big
war,
I agree there too. The Christians too, man.
How do we not see our own role in it, though?
If we're in a war, wouldn't it be really important to identify our enemy?
Here you go, Lowry. Here you go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just like.
Well, you wanted to know. Here you go.
To identify like who it is. And gloves, they're all right, dude.
Are we in a war or not? Are we in a war or not?
I don't think that we are in the way that you're suggesting we are. I think that we're all part of the problem as well.
It's an information war. Listen, it's a war for your mind.
Flo, you're also listen, Flo, you're also part of the solution too, if you know it or not.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is I don't think that there is actual clear-cut enemy.
Part of the problem or the solution. So you gotta make up your own mind.
Well, I think that it's an easy mental trap to fall in, but I still think it's a mental trap to assume that there's this other group that is responsible for all the issues.
Well, they got a bunch of my fucking lovely fucking family members to
you got to point the finger back at you because you're the problem too, and you need to fix yourself first.
We're all part of all part of the machine, the system.
Yes.
If I ask any of you if you support slavery, everyone's going to be like, "Of course not." But nevertheless, we're all talking through these devices that were made with slave labor. You know, so the reality is a lot more nuanced than that, and we're not completely innocent. And there's not a group of people that we could figure out.
Flow State, did you have family members that shot something in their blood against their own thing? Did you have anyone like that? That's the problem I have.
Yeah,
That's the problem I have.
You have your emotions are the problem. I almost didn't answer the question. I almost didn't answer the question because it doesn't matter to whether or not I'm right. It's completely irrelevant. But yes, I did.
It's totally irrelevant. It's totally fucking relevant because it's like you have family members that put something inside their blood.
But wait a minute.
All
wait
it
a
means
minute.
is that you feel
got
some
them
sort
to
of
do
way.
it. Hold
Got
up.
them
I'm
to
gonna
do
put
it.
it this way. The coercion tactics, all those set up by those evil people in the thing. The bottom line is this: all contracts are voluntary.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fall for it, don't blame the trickster.
It's part of
blame yourself. Fool me once, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's part of the satanic
be fooled
agenda.
again.
It's part of the satanic agenda that they have to tell you what they're gonna do right in your face, and then if you reach it, then it's
Hegelian
all fine.
dialectic. It's right
Oh
there in
yeah,
your
lesser
face.
magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Sigil
not
magic as
getting
well.
mad at anyone in this chat. I'm just saying, like, I was pissed off that people that I loved put shit in their blood that didn't need to be in there. It just didn't need to be in there. It was dumb. It was
We're all in
retarded.
the same sense, man. Like Lowry, I mean, who doesn't know somebody we're in the same sense? That we're all pissed off.
My whole
parents,
family.
like,
Well,
my
since you
brother,
brought
like,
that,
everybody,
since you brought that up, how about that bird thing in the conference they're doing for the?
Oh yeah, it's just dumb. It's just fucking forward.
You can see
predictive
it coming.
programming into your fucking like. I don't think we never had to do any of that shit. Any of the blood doping thing that they stirred up a big fucking story about like, oh yeah, polio or whatever. I studied fucking biology for 5 years in college. I got a degree in biology. I was like, this is bullshit. This is complete bullshit.
Common cold.
It's bullshit.
Flu.
Yeah. And like, I've been like, knock on wood. I will always knock on wood. I haven't been sick since I was in high school.
Right.
I haven't been sick
glad.
since I was in high school. I had to take a shot so I can go to high school.
You know, we probably should not go into that subject.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I got you.
It does.
We all
Wait,
know
I'm
I'm
unfamiliar with I'm unfamiliar with the subject he's talking about, though.
I'm
a baby truther.
Sovereign's gonna go floating.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll say
How is something?
He's
doing
floating
that
in
anyway?
space, man.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You got to keep this in mind. Although coercion tactics are used, all
And effective.
contracts must be voluntary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why-
Krispy Kreme.
why
And
do you
when it
think
came
that?
down to it, nobody was holding anybody at gunpoint and making them do something.
What is under like
Exactly.
according to what does everything have to be voluntary? Like who said
Everything.
it?
It's some sort of karmic weird.
Is that like,
Everything.
is that
Everything.
your
Taxes,
philosophical
yes.
belief? Is this like that's
Yeah.
just
No, it's
Yes,
for
and
real.
philosophical. No,
No,
that's
it's
real too. Because
If I told you to do something, the only way that you would be forced to do it is one of two ways. If I have now coercive violence, that's not a contract. That's slavery.
That's why I said that your original claim is wrong. We've both been arrested, and there was no contract there.
Yeah, there actually was.
What?
Because you could, when you signed that thing for being a United States citizen,
I
and
didn't
all this
sign
other
shit.
Sure, you
I was
did.
born.
I'm sure you have filled out some kind of an application or something with your.
When you got a
signature on it,
ticket,
I
did you
attest
sign the
that I am a
ticket?
citizen of the United States.
I'm not
I
talking
get it.
about a ticket. What I'm saying is that
No,
I
even
don't-
off of that. If
I
you
don't
ever
know what
applied for a
authority you're
job-
appealing to, but in the real world, coercion also works to get things done on people.
Well, absolutely,
Well,
but
yeah,
you
that's
still
how they're
don't, you
depending
don't
on it.
have
They're
to do
depending
it.
on it. They're depending on it. They're depending on you to.
It's all to elicit a response. If you don't give the response they're eliciting, they can't really do anything. For instance, like mandate. People were very ignorant about what a mandate really is. You think it means like a law or you have to do it. No, it doesn't. If you read the definition in Black's Law Dictionary, it says it's a strongly worded request that is only valid upon agreement by the other party.
Right.
If you're manipulated into consent, it's still your consent.
So
You
your
But
consent.
these are just semantic games. It does like
They are semantic games.
That is semantic. That's exactly
they're counting
it.
on
Thank
you.
you, Flo.
Right.
They're counting on you to fucking get up with
Because
this
they
shit.
play semantics, but they play it with propaganda and real strong. On
right, but
every
I
single
understand that
channel,
behind
every
this,
single person.
You
there's-
understand now? It's like they literally they're waiting on you to consent to something they have a big.
They're not waiting that long though. If they want something enough.
No, my God, they have a media
Wait,
empire.
hold on. They said once we hit 70% or 30% or whatever it was, their percentage, then they would.
So is this conversation just confined to like that incident, or is this?
No. It's like with everything.
Well,
Look
imagine
when we spread democracy, did the people who received democracy, did they sign a contract?
They didn't have a choice.
All right, wait. What is democracy, and what are you explaining? Because
we live in
the
a
United
constitutional
States
republic.
Yeah, I'm using it facetiously.
You were given a choice when you were born. You were born with a total.
But we're told we are giving democracy to every other country. So I mean, what are we doing?
I was using that. I was referring to when we do war.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So when you do war, you're coming down to volunteerism. You're absolutely, because what's the alternative if you don't go to war? If I say, if they tell me you have to take this rifle and go shoot at those people, and I say no, I'm not going to do it, then what? Jail.
Then if you're supposed to, if there's a draft or you're already enlisted, then they put you in prison. Now, I don't know how you view voluntary, but that doesn't make any. There's no part of that is voluntary. Then
no. Here's the thing.
Right.
You guys have got to understand this. Our entire life experience here and walking through this world, you give over something to somebody else, or you don't, and that's really what it is. We have this whole world to take over, and we can do it however we want to do it. But if you go back to their agreement, you're fucked in that one. You walk through it and get out.
I don't actually have any idea what you're saying.
I'm saying don't entertain war. That's what I'm really saying.
Okay. I'm just trying to find examples to illustrate the point that contract,
in what you're talking about, it's not a contract then. Okay. That's enslavement. That's
turn
violence.
your back to it. Turn your back to that fucking shit.
Right. Okay. Then I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
So we don't actually need contracts, though. That's my point.
We don't.
Well, anything's a contract. If I say
anything's
a
even
a contract.
Somebody let me finish a motherfucking sentence, please.
Sorry, man.
Jesus Christ, man. All right. So even if I said, "Hey, honey, would you get me a glass of water?" and she says, "Okay," and gets me, that's a contract. Okay. I gave a request, and the requestee responded. She can
agreed.
Respond in the affirmative, or she can respond in the negative. She doesn't have to go get me a glass of water. She can go no. And then I'm relegated to either asking someone else to do it or doing it myself, right? Now, if I say, get me a glass of water, and she says no, and I say, well, that's it, I'm going to kick your ass. Well, that's violence. That's not contract at all. You see, this is how we're supposed to live, though. We're supposed to live by voluntary contract.
Yeah, and we have a really more basic contract in this. It's just like, don't fuck with other people. Don't fuck with other people.
I'm not really meaning like a legal document drawn up or anything like that when I say contract.
I don't know why you would say the word contract when what you mean is value.
It's request. It's
just don't fuck with people.
More than request.
Stop fucking with people.
It's nothing more than request and honoring the request. That's all. And most times is verbal. Some other times it's put into very strict legal.
That's what a contract is. There's a strict legal document arrangement. A contract.
Who cares about any of that shit? Just stop fucking with people. Stop being an asshole.
Is an agreement. That's all it is. It's an agreement.
Can we agree to stop being an asshole? And that's pretty.
Yeah, we got that part, man.
But that's a good value. That's a good idea. That's not a contract, though.
What contract are you talking about? Just stop being a fucking asshole to people. That's it. That's really
who are you saying that to, and why you keep saying that?
In general, in aggregate. What I'm saying is
so Flow State is arguing that contract can only be used when it's a legal document. Is that right?
What I'm saying is that a contract is a specific legal agreement, and that when people say use the word contract, when what they mean is like like karma or some shit.
Fine,
It
what's
just
legal?
confuses the whole issue.
Can't the
doesn't have
contract
anything to
be
do with
verbal?
the
Though?
legislation
Does
at
it have
all.
to be written?
I have no objection to purple contracts. I'm okay with that.
Then there's just some
Oh, verbal. You said verbal.
You're just messing with me. It's all good.
I thought
A
you were fucking with
written
me.
or spoken agreement, especially one concerning employment, sales, or tenancy that is intended to be enforceable by law.
Yeah, and look, from my perspective, I still sit back and say, I think, like, look, I mean, everybody can sit here and say, like, I went through church or I went through church and dogma and everything else. I think ultimately, like, most of the people in this community are like, just don't fuck with people, just be a nice person. Some people would say that that's Christ, walking with Christ, or whatever you're going to get
That's
up.
common sense.
Natural law.
It's just
natural law.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Nate.
Don't
Very
fuck
good.
with people.
Thank you.
Just stop fucking with people. And like, again, I will fuck with people if they're being an asshole. I will do it. I'm a fucking natural fucking troublemaker if they're fucking with people. But like, just
We can see
stop
that.
fucking with people.
Yeah,
Stop
we got
doing
it,
it.
man.
Nobody
they're not-
disagrees
no.
with that.
Laurie.
Everybody staunchly agrees with that.
They're
Okay.
not going to do it. We all agree with you, but nobody's going to stop doing it. They're
Yes,
not.
because
It's just
because
like
the
people are gonna say-
psychopaths that can manipulate people and use psychology, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Energy
can't stop.
vampires. Energy
Yeah.
vampires too, man. You got these fucking people out there that they just try to draw your negative energy out. That's it. And don't engage. Just don't fucking
Don't
engage
engage.
with them.
Don't
You know?
engage. It's like
Stop
we have
wasting your energy. Yeah.
Do not take sides in conflicts that do not concern you.
Yeah.
Indeed, I get that one. Yeah, yes, that, and yes.
Do
okay.
not say
I'm back to that.
Ukraine, no Russia. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Both sides are psyop.
I say imaginary lines. That's all I say. Imaginary lines. That's all.
And
it
you,
is.
Lowry, you want to know your biggest enemy in your
What?
life?
Myself.
Look in the mirror. Yes.
I know, dude. I get it.
You are yourself. We are all doing it. We sabotage and limit ourselves all the time.
You know, the thing about it is, like, really the most awesome thing about, like, all of us talking to each other tonight is that we're actually having a conversation, which most of the world can't have. We're having a conversation that's so difficult that it pisses most of us off that we're having it. And we get pissed off, we get mad. You're like, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. But here's the thing. It's like having the conversation is the thing. It's the actual thing.
But
Even
is
if
it
we're
fun?
even if we're pissed, I can see your shit you're putting up there. To fucking, but it's like really that's what it is. It's like, can we just talk and have a thing? And we're not going to agree with each other, and there's going to be a bunch of bullshit, and a bunch of people are going to be like, mad at us or whatever. But like, I've been having this flat Earth fight for fucking 10 years, 10 years, and I'm like, I'm okay now with it because I love all the people in here, and I think everyone here that's listening actually truly loves us. We all have a good love with ourselves. Yeah, we're
all on our own step and own
Yes.
walk, and we all understand one thing: the
Yes.
Earth is not a ball. For fuck's
Indeed.
sake, that's all we
Indeed.
understand. Like that's
Fuck
it,
yeah.
and we are on point on that, and we can have a conversation because we understand that. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, there's so many other things that get our biscuits buttered and.
I mean, everyone gets cut. They get butt hurt and like all this stuff, and it's whatever. But like, I find the people in this community so lovely, and yeah, we also get pissed. Everybody gets pissed at each other, and we all fucking get in fucking fist fights with each other every night for fucking 10 years. I've been in fist fights with people, but it's like everybody is on the same side here. Like, I don't know how to
Guess
fucking get
what?
that.
We still come back tomorrow and we forget about it. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
That's the point.
I
We
came
come
back a year
and
later
forget
for my
about it.
W about an arbitrary argument. I ain't forgetting shit on you guys.
All right, hey Flo, man. I don't know, man. You might be going on the other side, but it's all good. It's all good. No, I'm gonna forget of it tomorrow. It's all good.
I got a lot of fucking love for you guys. Like I've been in many mega fights on the internet, and like we go through it every night. We go through it weekly. But
Well, this is
go
the
ahead.
thing. This conversation can happen on a more public scale for more people.
Look at that ear, man. That's perfect.
I know that ear though.
Perfect. Ain't
Wow.
nothing wrong with it, huh? Oh, what happened? What happened?
I don't know. Hold up. Wait,
Some
wait,
people argued it was a tiny scab, and I never even saw a small scab. Never.
Are we still talking about the ear? Are we still doing this?
He just popped it up. I'm sorry. He's popping it up. There it is. Nothing wrong with that thing. He is nothing.
Why the
Be a
fuck was he at
princess.
a Bitcoin? Why was he at a Bitcoin conference, man?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh,
Why-
you just saw. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to pull that article up. It was on Zero Hedge. You know, I was talking earlier. Sovereign. It was on Zero Hedge.
Because crypto is what the
I'll
new.
find it.
It's a trap. It's a Pied Piper currency.
They're gonna go with that CBDC.
Of course they are.
Oh, yeah.
The free market cryptos are just them letting the free market work out the kinks. The minute that they feel like it's ready to go, they're gonna shut all that shit down.
You're right.
Trump
You're
will
right.
bring in CBDC at World War III. That's what I predict.
We're already in
And
World War III.
people will think
Oh, I
it's
know. We know
fantastic
that.
because they suck. They drink the milk
gonna
right
get
out of his
worse.
cock, and nobody actually looks into.
Where was that? He said that. He said, what was it? Oh yeah, we looked at that last night where he was talking about. He says, he says, you vote for me this time, Christians, and then that it's going to be so great. You're never going to have to vote again. There will never be a need to vote and all this.
It
And
was
I'm like,
so bizarre when he said like I'm not Christian or I am Christian. We slowed that fucking video down, like
I know.
like down to like fucking 0.25. I
Trying to
couldn't
see
tell.
that.
I couldn't tell. It was either I'm not Christian or I am Christian.
It sounds like both at the same time.
Yeah, it was
Like it's really
bizarre.
strange. Yeah.
It was the best devil speak I've ever seen. You know, as far as that's concerned, I don't really care. You know, it's fucking. He's a fat guy with a fucking orange hair. I don't even know who this guy is. Like whatever.
Orange face,
You see
blonde
it?
hair.
Sav, I just shared it. You see it?
Trump
promises-
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Bitcoin superpower of the world.
Part of my plan today, I am announcing that if I am elected, it will be the policy of.
There goes my internet. There we go. I told you I'm out in the camper.
My
It's all good, man.
administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires into the future. We'll keep 100%. I hope you do well, please.
Listen to this. Hold on.
This will serve in effect as the core of the strategic national Bitcoin stockpile.
Is that?
Oh, wait. He ends up saying because where was it? Being able to be a CBDC. That's a whole bunch of crap. Bitcoiners understand inflation better than anyone. You all know what inflation is, right?
Yep.
It's the printing of money.
Not a clue.
Without anything behind it. That's
Right.
what. But
It's
seriously,
how you
what
get
does
your
Bitcoin
basketball
have behind it? It's bullshit. It has nothing.
Right.
There's no intrinsic value behind Bitcoin. Do you guys Bitcoiners understand inflation better than anyone? I mean, yeah, but they still buy it. So what the fuck? Are you guys stupid? Like, buy silver and gold or like physical. I'm
Preach.
All right. I'm preaching. Yeah, preach.
Interesting.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time.
Just this time. Because
Hallelujah.
why?
You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years. You know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine.
No.
You won't have to vote anymore, my
It'll
beautiful
be
Christians.
fixed.
I love you, Christians. I'm not Christian.
It'll be fixed.
I
That's the
love
funny
you.
thing.
I'm
Get
not
out. You
Christian.
gotta get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have
I'm
to
not
vote
Christian.
again.
Go
We'll have
out.
it fixed so good you're not going to have
guys
to
vote. You're never gonna
You're
have.
not going to have to vote.
mean,
That's
my
it.
God.
It's going to be so fucking wonderful that it's just going to be fixed.
Yeah.
Some people have said that doesn't mean he's going to stay in office. It just means that the next president is also going to be conservative, MAGA, like Trump.
Does it?
Sure,
Some people have already.
That feels like a reach.
That's the cool thing about the way he mocks you is that you could take it this way, you could take it that way, but
That means they smoke a lot of pot. That's all I can say.
I said it's the calm before the storm, and they thought that I meant I was on their side.
I was taking some mushrooms that day, man, and I was seeing Trump, and he was like blue and yellow, and it was like The Simpsons, bro. It was crazy. All right, sorry.
MAGA is like Gog and Magog.
Well, it's also a word that means magician.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Precisely.
I don't know.
Words matter.
Yeah, this guy. I don't know, man. I'm torn, but I can't help but have that nagging feeling they're gonna do the come on, Charlie Brown, kick that football, and they're gonna jerk it out from under everybody again. You know, they're all going, there's no way Trump could lose. Kamala's an idiot. She can't get any support. Blah, 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 blah. Bam. Here we go.
First woman. Wow. Yeah.
I would love to see Kamala Harris as your president, man. He should be like every press conference.
I prefer to see AOC in
like
office
she's high and
president because at least
cackling like
got
the
nice
fucking
titties.
Wicked Witch of the West.
Flow
Then
State,
we'll
I
actually
got
come
something
to
to
the
ask
show.
you. I got something to ask Flow State. Do you think Madonna should stop doing stage appearances, man?
Did something new happen with Madonna?
I don't know. I just caught this clip of her latest stage appearance, and I'm like, come on.
I think I've been thinking.
How old
for
is
a
she?
while-
Is she's gonna die at 69, right?
She's let me see. She's I think
my
Oh
first
my God, she
recommendation
looks
for
like a
Madonna
million
is that she
nowadays.
get braces. She should have done that a long time ago. After that, we can address her.
Is
I think
Madonna
she's 60 something.
Yeah, she's a whore.
Question mark?
Look at that, her depends her show.
This is
Dude.
Oh God, I'm throwing up here, man. I gotta go. Oh,
The
God.
back is chunky like she
Oh,
is
God.
wearing the pants.
Oh, it's bad. Oh God.
All right, but how many beers until you tap that?
Oh man, I bet you that thing looks like an
care how many-
exploded Arby's. Look like an
Yeah.
exploded Arby's beef and cheddar, man.
Oh God. Oh.
I bet that
Let's see,
thing
how old
turns
is she?
into dust as soon as you stick your thing in her.
Nope. Nope.
By the time I got drunk enough, I don't think it'd work anymore.
That thing would be like flop.
It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It would disconnect itself and run away.
Disintegrates.
So 58, she's from 1958 was her birthday.
That thing would shrink up into my ball hole, and you might think I'm a transvestite. I don't know, man.
Let me clear.
It'd be nasty. Oh. Oh. You guys have fun with that.
It's an old dude.
If you had
I
like
think
Ooh,
Madonna
open a
is.
cheese toasty.
I think Madonna is trained.
Yeah, she's 65. 65 out there still.
He's 65.
I was in the Oakland County Jail with her brother for a few days.
You were with Madonna's brother in jail? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. He's a pussy. He is. He's
A good story.
John
though.
Penn is supposedly my one of my third cousins. So
John Cena?
that one up there.
I see the resemblance.
Sean Penn.
Of Sean Penn.
with the big
Oh,
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. Yeah.
Sean Penn, yeah, her old husband.
I'm a direct descendant of Constantine. You're welcome, Christians.
Yeah.
And my fourth time great grandfather is Tecumseh, believe it or not. Yeah. And I actually have a lot of proof on that, but you'd never believe it. But Sovereign, you might know. Tecumseh.
I'm from Yakub.
If you guys know Ohio at all and Canada background, yeah.
That sounds so cool, man. I'm from Haku.
I don't know. I'm related to Warren. I'm related to Warren G. Harding, who was president of the United States. But
okay. Well, Harrison would be my arch rival, and then on the other side, I have Powers and Son whiskey. So I got a liquor side, and I got Tecumseh. So I mean, yeah.
Brian Staveley said he's related to Anakin Skywalker. He came from Uranus.
I'm related.
I'm not lying. No, I'm not from Uranus. That's for sure. And I wouldn't lie. But all right,
I'm
cool.
from Uranus. Poor Brian. Everybody
I'm
got
related to
picked.
Yoda.
I'm related to Will Duffy.
He's my people.
I killed the vibe. I'm related to Will Duffy. I saw that one. Something. I'm related to Will Duffy. Something. I missed it.
Said and Trump. Said I'm related to Will Duffy.
And Trump. Nice. Okay. Very nice.
Hang on. I forgot.
Oh yeah, and the king that killed Braveheart. I'm a descendant from him too. Not William Wallace, the one who killed him.
Long Yeah,
I'm descended from Mel Gibson.
There you go.
Mel Gibson slut. All right, I killed the vibe, man. Keep going, Sovereign. Give us something else, man.
Yeah, you really fucked it up bad.
I admit it. I screwed it all up. Go on, man.
We need more of the pierced ear, the fake pierce. No, not fake. It's totally not fake. The event was 100% real.
We could float around in my W.
You need your pillow, man. Where's your pillow? You got the hat on, but where's your pillow? Your pillow here. Come on.
Oh, I got that over here someplace, I think.
Maxi pads.
Yeah, this is here. by Lindell. This is known as my ear bandage.
I.e. your mother.
Oh, that's amazing.
My pillow ear bandage.
That's funny.
He was up all night on crack to come up with that idea.
Yes. Lots of crack. Bring me more crack.
And he hasn't found the problem, but he took apart the lawnmower, so that's done.
Yeah. Goddamn if I know how it goes back together either. Yeah.
Lost some parts, but
yeah, I had to edit out the thing I showed, that comedy routine that they did over in Russia about the future Olympics. I had to edit that out. They got mad about that. I know.
I think the thing with the Olympics is just like here's the thing. Olympics are boring as fuck. I didn't even know they were happening until everybody started crying about the opening ceremony.
Yep.
Does anybody watch Olympics?
No. That's all that caught my attention was I was like, holy cow, have they really gone crazy this year? And I didn't even know the Olympics. It seemed like somebody might have mentioned it, but there again, I don't give a shit.
Oh, only
my 80-year-old aunt is the only one I know. My 80-year-old aunt. That's the only one I know that watches.
If I was to walk by the women's volleyball tournaments, maybe
I would watch. Yeah, I mean, if I'm
outside of that, probably not. No.
Yeah, that's not because I like the Olympics. It's because I'm a perv.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's why I watch it.
So still, nobody cares about the Olympics. I just.
Hey, Sovereign, what happened to your boob shirt, man?
What happened to my what?
Your boob shirt. Yeah, boobs. He said,
it's only
I said, I like your boobs, man. He was like, what'd you say?
It's a number, you pervert. It's 80085.
Dirty-minded buttered biscuits.
Hey, whatever, man. Buttered biscuits, and I like boobs. I can't explain it, but it is the way it is. Yeah.
I have an affinity for boobs as well. Yeah. What is it, Flo?
I was just wondering if anybody watched any good porns lately.
Oh, is there any good porns?
Geez, Sav, I'm not gonna lie. Your show's a little too vulgar for me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go.
Hey, Nate. Let me bring it down. Let me bring it down to you on a married view, a married side. Yeah, I've seen some good porn, but it's been with my wife, so but we can't share that. All right, you cool? We good with that? So, and he dropped. No, he didn't drop.
So what do y'all think about after that debacle of an opening?
We heard that debacle of a voice crack.
then the power went out, and the only thing that still had lights was a cathedral. Ain't that some crazy shit?
God damn it! It's not that crazy. They can turn things off.
Well, maybe they did.
You can make the AC at the movie theater stop working too if you want to like do two layers.
Why were they? Why? What's the thing? What are they trying to telegraph? What do you?
I don't know what they're trying to telegraph. I'm not religious. I think all religions are part of the illusion. So that would be my theory, but I'm not trying to make that argument because I am sure that there's going to be.
Obviously, they went to a lot of trouble.
It's not that much trouble, probably, to turn off the lights.
No, I'm talking about the entirety, the totality of the situation. Okay, the totality of it. The totality is that they had this, what most people would consider a very blasphemous demonstration, if you will. And there were a lot of people that got to the point where so much so that even after this right here, that then they ended up taking it down off of YouTube. The Olympic Committee took it down. They had to put out a letter saying that they didn't mean to offend.
Because religion is a divisive topic, and part of divide and conquer is to divide people any way that you can.
But this isn't.
If you can whip people into a frenzy over religion, then
if anything, this has brought Christians and Muslims closer together because they both agree that it was blasphemous. They both agree. Okay.
Well, yeah, because
the thing about it is, all right, so they went to all the trouble to do that. They couldn't not know because it was purposely set that way. And then to go ahead and orchestrate the lights going out. Okay, I can get on board with that. But there again, it's still more of what are they telegraphing? Are they is that a sign that due to this kind of behavior, this is the shit that's coming? That it's going to be all wiped away?
I think that the objective is just to attract attention and cause conflict. If you keep people distracted and keep them at each other's throats, like the whole thing when people, the conservatives bitching about Kamala Harris isn't qualified, she's never had kids, right? Like, who actually thinks that that's a real that's just meant to piss people off? And I think that this is all sort of similar.
Well, I think it would be kind of self-defeating that to put something out like that and then turn people away from watching the Olympics. Okay, your whole thing is you're making. Wait a second, you're making money off of sponsorship. Okay, and the thing is you want people to watch the Olympics, right?
Right. But they're boring as shit, so you create controversy around it, just like
so nobody. So even more people that did watch it, stopped watching it.
I disagree. I think I think that they're going to get more views now that they've done this shit.
I agree. I actually agree with Flo State on this. I think they'll get more views because the Christians and the Muslims and anybody that was offended, they're going to tune in to see if they're going to get offended again. They're going to look.
Yeah, to analyze.
It's not happening.
Yeah, you might be right.
They're showing.
Is that? I'm going to need to get more. No, I'm going to need to get a storage unit for all these W's I'm accumulating.
Well, I don't see. There's something behind the reason for that. Okay, it wasn't just look at this show and it just happened to be that way. No, there's a reason. They show you shit for a reason. Okay, they show you shit for a reason.
Definitely.
And that's.
But I don't think speculating is actually getting ahead and getting us in a better position for the truth. I think it takes us into imagination and distracts us from what is, right? What do we know? We know that
there again, I have to appeal to the totality
there's no,
of the situation because
there's no speculation in.
You can appeal to whatever you want, and your appeal is denied. Case closed.
Nice laugh. You got a beautiful laugh.
Go ahead, Seth.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's no speculation behind their ceremonies. There is no speculation behind.
Okay, what does it mean? I mean, what are they trying to do with it?
Let's decode the symbolism. What exactly are we seeing here?
It's a mock of.
Okay. Now we can't go back and review it. You know why? because they fucking removed it. And if I show my copies, they'll strike my fucking channel.
So I would view that as evidence in my favor, right? It's not about that. They're not actually shooting us a deeper message. They're just trying to get our attention.
Okay, for what? To focus
it goes
on
both
what?
No,
the
he's right though, because it does go both ways. You have to understand there are like points of truth on both ends.
If getting W's was an Olympic sport, people would be watching, because I'd be the Michael Phelps of that shit.
Right. So what are you figuring you're getting a W on with this?
I don't even remember where we were.
I haven't disagreed with you. I am telling you that I feel that there's something telegraphed here. There was a purposeful reason that they put this out there. What exactly is it? Now, as I said before, with the totality of the situation, not just the Olympics, this is just a little thing of it. This is just a little show, a little sideshow. I'm talking about this big main event that's happening everywhere. The shit that's going on, where is it? Venezuela right now with Maduro and this other character, right? They're having their own election fraud problem down there right now, and it's getting really heated. And you've got this shit right now with Turkey saying that they might go ahead and invade into Israel. You've got the world stage getting set up for a fucking huge conflict right now. So what is it? What is this telegraphing? It certainly wasn't helping things by doing that. What is their end game? What are they trying to really pull here?
Right. And all I can do is speculate. But if I were to do that, I would say that Trump has exploited the Christian right.
Oh, yeah,
and this is going to be a unifying event for Christians.
Yeah, maybe so. You know, maybe even like, and you know how they do like to put things out for us. I don't know if, and I only think I watched like one season of it, but it was enough to kind of get me to go, huh. There was a recent show. What was that called? Where this Christian fundamentalist right wing faction had taken over part of the United States.
I know what you're talking about.
You know the one I'm talking. Oh, The Handmaiden.
Yeah,
The Handmaiden, right?
Handmaid's Tale or something like.
The Handmaiden's Tale. That's what it was. Yes, The Handmaid's Tale. And it kind of like with this infertility. Now think about that. What's one of these effects that people are finding out that's coming about from the jab, right? Is infertility.
Oh,
and
yeah.
in the story, there was a problem with infertility, and there was something when they were taking these women that were fertile and using them as brood mares. And they were trapped within this theocratic type of government. And I'm like going, ooh, you know, not necessarily that exact same thing, but the idea of a theocratic government split in America, where there's a split, there's free America, and then there's this Christian America. And I'm going, whoa, what exactly are they putting into the ethos here? And you put everything together. See, I grab all the different shit that's going on and I go, oh, okay, the totality of the situation. And when I say that's what I mean.
Well, I think that, don't you think, though, that the infertility situation going on is probably, I mean, it seems to me that it would be more related to like whole generations of women being on birth control their whole lives and men drinking the tap water that birth control doesn't get filtered out of. Like,
well, there's that, but the fact of the matter is that these infertility rates have also corresponded with the last 4 years. There seems to be a correlation. There was already problems with fertility going on. There was already problems.
All right, listen. My wife works for OBGYN, okay? She's a nurse.
Yeah.
She has said in the last 3 years, she has not seen as many people have issues with their children and unborn children and so on and so forth. Not being able to deliver, whatever. All these issues have happened, and I have been with my wife for 20 years. She's been in the same profession for 20 years.
Longer than I have.
Never, ever, ever seen this, okay? She has never seen something like this before. And she tells me all the time, every time she comes up, I've already told Sovereign, she leaves like Sunday night. She comes home on Wednesday evening. So she comes home, she gives me different stories and everything else that's happening, and she's almost fed up because she's comes home and she's almost crying because she likes her job, she likes what she does, she wants to help people, but she is actually feeling for these people because they fell for the whole sauce. They fell for it, and she's never seen anything like it in her entire life. And I've never heard her talk like this before. She comes home and she tells me of just pregnancies that just, the bleeding and they just don't happen. It's nasty. It's really, and here's my dinner discussion. And I'm like, all right,
yeah, and I was gonna make a joke, and then you killed the vibe with it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of them lined up.
I wanted to say cornholio, and then you said all that. I was going to say since cornholio, and then you said all that. It's serious. It's serious.
I am the great cornholio. Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of great vagina jokes that were lined up, and then I missed the opportunity.
There we go. There's Denver. That's the Denver.
Right. Yeah, more predictive programming.
Now, see, this is how long I've been looking into this shit, right? This thing was from 1996. And this is,
it's a Denver
that doesn't mean that that's when you noticed it.
No, well, this is the thing. This is what's so weird is because this is supposed to be like, what is the future going to be? These series of murals. And this one's very disturbing. We see this guy with the dove of peace stabbed on the end of his sword. We see these mourning mothers carrying dead children and this wave of something coming out of him that seems to be, I don't know, toxic. What's going on? And I don't know, man, is this propaganda, like the prediction of what is going on, what's starting to happen now?
Fear-based crowd control. Those images are ambiguous enough, but they're definitely foreboding. That is definitely some scary shit.
Well, I mean, is it a coincidence? You've got these mothers with their babies, they're all dying, and this guy especially, look at what's he wearing on his face? It's a gas mask indicating that there's some kind of a toxin involved here.
You can see the rainbow turning into some kind of
yeah.
So that's kind of like, I'm like, wow, it's kind of like that would be very poignant to right now.
But it's also ambiguous enough that you could apply this mural to basically any combination of events, that everything's foreseeable.
Just pick some and correspond them to it.
Crying women with dead children?
No, the painting itself with a soldier with a gas mask.
So every single war ever in the last 100 years, that could be an image of women crying. Women crying, destroyed buildings. A sword symbolizes war,
and a gas mask.
And the gas mask.
I'm pretty sure that was the dick sucking mouth, but yeah, I mean, yes, a gas mask is a foreboding imagery. It's foreboding imagery. It's
why a gas mask? Why not a monster?
Because it's scary. Because
why is it scary? We have these waves of something.
This whole dude is World War II imagery, and
See, there's this wave of something that seems to be
something there. Like it's almost like that's black goo, almost.
Like a
type of thing.
If you want to find something, you will find something. That's why it's very effective.
Well, when this first came out, the interpretation of it was like it looks like some kind of a chemical or biological toxin killing a bunch of people. Some kind of warfare going on because we've got the dove of peace being stabbed here. That's a lot of people interpreted it that way, and that was 30 years ago when it first came up. Now, the fact that this thing is right in front of a tile on the floor that has a little mining car on it. Now, they're again talking about you could take it either way, like with Trump, right? On there are the symbols for gold and for silver. And of course, Colorado is a mining place where they mine a lot of gold and a lot of silver, right? But those symbols for those are AU and AG, which is also Australian antigen. That's what they call it, AUAG, which is a biological weapon that was at this point of time when they made this mural. So just by coincidence, here's these people with a guy in a gas mask and a biological agent listed on the floor right in front of the
it's not by coincidence. It's
No,
very
of course
intentional. It's very intentional, and it's because there's no scenario in 1996 in which that would not be applicable. That imagery could apply to any war ever. Not ever, but how do you interpret the fact that dude was stabbing the dove?
How many civilian casualties?
That dude was stabbing the dove in the pee hole.
How many civilian casualties?
Did I?
Oh, go ahead.
Gas
Go ahead.
warfare. Gas warfare was only ever used in World War I and the Iran-Iraq War.
Syria. I mean, I remember the Syria shit going on.
Syria was a false flag. It did not happen.
Well, I don't
Yes.
know.
Sovereign, but flow state, you just caught yourself.
I was
because
good.
you said,
What did I
happened in
say?
any war ever? Did it happen in the Civil War? Did
Okay,
they have-
yeah, that's why I caught
did they have
myself because
chemical, biological
you got
agents
me
in the
because they
Civil
didn't
War?
invent gas masks until later.
All right. Now, my next thing is how many civilian casualties as a result of gas warfare in World War I and the Iraq-Iran War were there? How many mothers with dead babies were there due as a result of chemical warfare?
We don't know that
None.
those babies were killed. There was a destroyed building in the background, the bricks on the scenery.
None.
Maybe
There were
the
no
building
babies
fell
on
on
it.
those
There were
women.
no babies and women and children at the front in Verdun. None. There were none on the front.
No,
between
hey,
the
wait,
Iranians and the
sovereign.
Iraqis.
Never say none. There might have been one or two.
No, not by the time
There might
they
have
were
been
doing
one or
that.
two. Maybe you don't know about one or two, but next to none. Next to none. I would never claim just zero, right?
So yeah, there's a lot of strange shit involved with that. But I mean, that's some strange shit. If you've ever looked into the Denver International Airport, that's really wild. They moved more dirt out of there. They removed more dirt than was removed to make the Panama Canal.
You said gold was AU.
I'm pretty sure the big blue horse outside with like the red eyes or something. The guys
titanium's TI.
The guys that were
Lucifer, that thing killed its creator.
It killed its creator. And then there's other stuff like Freemason plaques, but that mural is like the main thing that people go to. Yeah.
Well, then it's got the capstone. There's a time capsule under a capstone.
Do you disagree when I say that lots of these symbols are ambiguous enough they can be applied falsely very easily?
Sure.
Do you agree
I
that?
also believe that it's possible that a homeless guy really owns the Brooklyn Bridge, and he really does want to sell it to me.
Okay, so you think no, I said that's why I said very easily. I qualified it. It is very easy to look at a spooky image and interpret it to your times, right?
So, have you ever read the Morals of Dogma?
Three murals telling a story. Murals literally telling a story.
They are not telling a specific story. They are giving. No, they're conveying moods. And what's the story? Read me the story.
All right, hang on. Let's take a look at
and then I'll read you the story that I read.
All right.
And if
the original,
all right. So you already told me the one of.
Yeah, we've already watched how the buildings collapsed and the babies were killed because they were in the buildings.
The original Morals and Dogma from Albert Pike. They ended up
Albert Pike.
and into four different volumes thereafter. After the first year, you do have it. Now, the symbols just made up.
No, symbols are not just made up, but they are interpretable. That's my point.
Right?
They are not rigidly defined.
Exactly. No, they are in that book.
All right.
They are rigidly defined. Which one do you have? Because is this volume 1, 2, 3, or 4, or is this the original from 1865?
I don't know.
Show me.
Yeah, we're talking about Masons in general, mainly people.
After 1865, they ended up splitting it up into 4 different volumes.
This is from 1966.
Okay, so
what's
then
your interpretation of this one?
They're not going to give you the exact secrets. From 1865, the original one was 18.
Do you have the original one?
I do, but it's inside. Yes.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll be here. I mean, okay. Actually, don't worry about it. You don't have to do that. I expected you to say no, and I was going to ask how you knew about the secrets then. But okay. So all the kids are really happy because even though the scary virus killed a bunch of babies, luckily a group of geniuses on the internet figured out the symbolism and were able to thwart the New World Order and topple Zelensky. That's how I interpret that. Do you see the same thing?
So you're not going to give a serious interpretation.
What you can't read. What do you read into? That's my point.
Your point is, if I read the Bible, then your interpretation is different than mine. That's perfectly fine. I get it. No, it's fine.
I'm just asking for an honest interpretation of it. That's all.
No, my honest interpretation is that I interpret these images the same way I interpret the when they masked up the big Jesus in Brazil, right? Or the way I interpret the Georgia Guidestones, which is these things are not communicating literal specific information. What they're doing is it's crowd control, it's mass crowd control through fear, right? We are supposed to take away the fear and then be easily. Huh?
What's fearful about this image?
I don't know. I guess nothing about this one, but
nothing fearful about it. But what's your interpretation of it? What do you see?
Do you because the whole series of these murals is fear inducing. The fact that this one is here doesn't negate the overall takeaway.
There's only 3.
No.
Yeah, and you never ever see anybody going, "Did you see the Denver murals? They're very inspiring."
Sovereign, I'm censoring myself, but I believe it has something to do with Noah because of the rainbow. I'm not going to say the whole thing because
what's actually happening in the picture?
What is the whole thing?
What is it? We see all these people. They're obviously children of the world as they're carrying different flags. And what do they have wrapped in their flags? They have swords wrapped in their flags. And they're all coming together around one guy here, this little German kid, it looks like. They're Austrian.
Oh, yeah. Actually, let me read it. Let me do better since I didn't look I couldn't see that closely. Right. It looks like it's an anti-nationalism message.
Remember in the Hebrew, you also read right to left. So realize that the quote unquote Jewish, which I don't believe it's Jewish, but that's on the right, our right. And to the left, if you go all the way to the left, what do you see? Keep going, Sovereign. No, left.
To the left.
All the way.
What is
Islam.
That? There you go. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So again, Albert Pike spoke specifically on this.
Yeah.
And I shared this earlier with that End Times production, I think it was called, the channel. Remember, Sovereign? It was kind of like getting a little recap of that. That's a good thing to reach. And that guy was speaking from the 1960s, I believe it was, and the CFR and all of that. So End Time Productions, I'll put it in the chat.
Trying to get to the point or something, man.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But now that I've looked closer at this, I would revise my claim on these. I think that this is generally a globalist sentiment that is conveying all the murals together.
Because what it looks like these kids are all bringing their swords to this guy who's got an anvil. You see, he's got an anvil and he's got a hammer in his hand up here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's apparently beating the swords into plows.
Have you heard the Barron Trump theory that people think that little boy is Barron Trump?
Look what happened to the war. Look what happened to war. War is buried. War is beneath them now. You see? This is the image that's brought about here.
Mm-hmm. So are you agreeing with me? I think we're agreeing.
So this is I think it shows a globalist agenda. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What do we got? Peace written in all different languages on this banner. So this is all a message of peace. And we've got the little Chinese guy over here and an Italian girl and a little British boy.
But like I said, it's full of generic war symbolism.
But notice they go together because this right here is the same guy that was in the other mural. with
I
the
see
waves
that.
of death and shit coming out of me.
Mm-hmm. My point is that I think it is a big mistake for people to assume that there is and look for very specific meanings when we clearly don't have all the information, and that's the trick or the trap or the whatever the bait. That's how Anon pulled a bunch of Q people in, right?
Yeah, but this was 96. That stuff come up. Those murals have been taken down since. Those
Oh, they
murals
have.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought
they're
they were
not
still
there
there.
anymore. But they've got some really crazy shit going on there. They got like a sculpture of a little demon or some shit coming up out of a Samsonite suitcase.
They have a bunch of gargoyles around the place.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. And the fact that they buried 2 full-size buildings while they were building it, they never used the same contractor all the way through. They'd have one contractor company come in and do this little bit of work, and then they'd get rid of them and get another contractor. Nobody knows the full plan of what was built there. And then when they leave this capstone with a time capsule under it that's supposed to be opened in 2092 or 2075 or some shit like that, and it's got the Masonic cross or square and compass on it.
Yeah. Yep.
And it says by the New World Airport Commission. Well, there's no such thing as that. You can't find a New World Airport Commission anywhere. And then there's this other thing that comes up off of it that almost looks like some kind of a weird Star Trek panel, but it's not real. It's just like a little place where one would go or something. It's really fucking crazy shit they got there.
I remember the first time I heard it was when I was really, really young. And it was just weird conspiracies of people being like, I came out there and they were like feeling deluded and stuff. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty crazy shit. There's a lot of tunnels. There was a lot of tunnel building going on. So yeah, people have calmed down about it in recent years, but I think it looks like a swastika from the air too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's like a very it's like a weirdly shaped swastika. Yeah.
They've had a military base that looks like that from the air too.
Well, the thing is that there was no need for it, and it's actually more inconvenient than the old Denver airport. The old Denver airport was like right accessible to town. This thing is like 20 miles outside of town. Or further, I don't know. I remember that it was people were like, why in the fuck are these even building this thing? And the cost of it was just phenomenal. It was just a phenomenal amount of money they spent on this thing too. What happened to my man? What happened to him? He left.
I don't know, Butter Biscuits. He left a video before he left.
But what did he say?
He left a video in the chat.
Oh, let's see what it is.
He left like a description of the video.
Audio recording nights. The man claims to have made the recording after being shown a series of classified documents from a government insider. Is this real or just a figment of his imagination? I don't know.
He's back.
No, I accidentally dropped. Sorry, guys.
That's all good.
We forgive you.
Well, this is an hour and 13 minutes. We can't do this.
No, yeah.
I'll have to watch that later. Yeah. All right, I'll book it.
It's long, but
I'm not gonna go.
Take a look if you get a chance. That's why I didn't say anything about it, because I'm not gonna put you guys through an hour plus. But
there's another channel too. I wanted to tell you all about the Apollo detectives. This guy just recently did a debate about the Apollo landings with McToon.
Yeah.
I think you might have been talking about it, Butter Biscuits, where he told him, he says, you better mind your manners. He told Toon, he says, young man, you don't have any reason to be speaking to me that way. It was pretty good.
Hey,
what?
Sovereign, I've been watching for a while. I've never heard you talk about, about Stanley Kubrick, like, how he had the interview that they faked the moon landings. I just never heard you talk about it on your show.
Oh yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. You just probably haven't heard of it. It's probably not talked about recently because it's like, There's people that still believe in the moon landing. What?
I know.
What?
I know. They still
Really?
believe in the moon landing? What the fuck?
That's where I'm at. But this is just a little clip from one of their videos. Watch this, Prod. What they're showing how they use layers.
There's camera one. Yeah, okay. And of course, she goes out of the camera. Now, there's camera 1 and 2. See what they're doing? They're rotoscoping her from camera 2 into that same image. And then watch what happens when the rotoscope goes over. And then watch what happens when they color correct it all. Seamless. Yeah.
Yeah. So they use layers. They're using layers and shit. They're getting, but see, the thing is, these computers will still glitch up, man, and fuck something up. Always.
Going up there for Biden and what's going on with him. I mean, there could be multiple things. This is one possibility.
Biden? I don't think there really is a Joe Biden. I don't think there ever really.
I don't
was
think
a
so
Joe Biden.
either. But this is one option. Let's just put it that way. One option. So if you take a look at the video, I mean, this is an option, right? So. There's clones, there's so on and so forth.
Well, here's the thing that got me.
Probably a little bit further.
Robotoids.
When he dropped out of the race, okay, unexpectedly, like he did, and then they acted like he dropped out of the presidency. Did you notice that? And I think
he dropped out of that a long time ago.
Well, I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't think. First off, I don't. I think Joe Biden is. I think Joe Biden is a character that has been being played by multiple actors over the last few decades, because it's clear that this is not the same guy all the way through. All right.
Yeah, with all the presidents.
You up for watching this? It's a couple minutes, and if you guys know Dollar Vigilante, I think he did a pretty good job on his most recent video. All right, here we go.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And this is like civilian. Civilians can buy this. They have military ones that are even better.
It's not just that, but yeah, you're going to see a TED Talk here pretty soon. Thereafter, it's pretty interesting. Of course, like 2 to 3 minutes, but still.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
And you don't even have to wash it.
Yeah, it doesn't take all those hours of makeup.
Wait until the CIA lady from CIA, and she mentions about this whole thing in a TED Talk. I mean, this gets pretty wild.
It's really what they actually did for Mrs. Doubtfire. It wasn't 5 hours of makeup. It's just
is there supposed to be sound?
Yeah, is there not?
Oh, no.
Son of a gun. All right, hold on.
You're at 30, 20.
Does that work better?
Nope.
Unmute the tab it's on. You have the tab muted.
Does that work?
If you right click the tab and unmute tab, it's probably there.
You know, when I was a kid, there was a show on called Mission Impossible, not the movies. Yeah, had Peter Graves was like the head of the IMF team. Right? What? Oh, he locked up.
You guys got it? Okay, hold on. You hear it now?
No.
1 second.
Nope.
I don't hear it. Oh, wait.
To Hollywood.
Yeah, turn the volume up.
Tradespeople out in LA that did a lot of things we were interested in doing. Well, LA did have some ideas, of course. That's what they do for a living. They introduced us to a new concept. They said, what you are calling an operation, we call a performance. That's what we do. We put on performances. And before we start
Working on that performance, we have to define the stage that the performance is going to take place on. Then you have to know who your audience is, who are you playing to, who are you trying to fool. Then they showed us some tools that they used. The one that really caught our eye is what's called a stunt double mask. You all know how they're used. When the movie star is so famous or so good looking that they can't risk damaging him. We liked the idea of stunt double masks. They're quick on, they're quick off. They dramatically change your appearance. And we started using them and found them to be valuable to our operations. But that audience piece of it did not allow you to get close enough to one of those masks before the illusion fell apart and you saw it was a mask. So we went back to our disguise labs out at Langley and we invented a whole new genre of masks. Masks that are so good, that are so realistic, that you can actually get up close and have a personal contact with someone for an extended period of time. They're good enough that you can brief the President of the United States in the Oval Office wearing a mask. And he isn't sure if it's you or if it's someone else. Those masks were the beginning of a whole new generation of work that we did at the CIA. Once we could make these masks that fit you so well, then we discovered we could make a twin. We could make another you. There could be two of you. We could actually make 5 or 6 of you, but usually one extra was all we needed.
Yeah, so Milkowski.
When I do it, they say it's identity theft.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
yes,
that
it
is
is.
wow. I've heard about that, but I've never seen a CIA person talking about it. That's crazy.
Well, like I was saying in that TV show Mission Impossible, and of course it wasn't really a mask. It wasn't that they didn't have them that good, but they'd use an actor, but then they'd show him pulling off his mask and shit, and it was actually wearing a mask like that. So just even the fact that they were showing that they were doing that within the intelligence community back then, you got to wonder how long have they actually done this shit. By the time we ever find out about this crap, it's already been happening for a long
50
time.
years later.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
I mean, people never heard about people. It was only a rumor of the F-117 stealth until the Gulf War. And the thing had been around for 15 years. Yeah, it was around for like 15 or 20 years before that. See?
Yeah.
We're finding out about it now because deep fake shit is so good and so easy that with a free app and one photo, I can make a video of myself, doing shit from scenes of Friends. You can tell it's not me, but it's pretty damn good.
No, dude, it's freaky. Like the voice clones are.
The voice clones.
So sophisticated. Like I watch these comedy podcasts that have voice clones of people. Sounds exactly like them. Gets all the pauses, all the stutters, everything about their voice. Perfect.
Scammers are even using them for calls now. They're like mimicking people's families.
By the way, guys, I have one of those, and I actually downloaded it, and I figured out how to do it on, on my computer. So this is my laptop itself. So maybe I'll shoot in as Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. Here. There you go. You're gonna see it. I'm Arnold, but no, it's actually pretty good. It is. It's.
Can it make your voice?
You should come in as Joe Cool and see how quickly you get kicked off.
Coming as Joe Rogan and Sovereign will get a bunch of views.
Please don't kick me off. That's me effing with you, all right? So I'm just trying to give you a heads up as I'm going to do it.
Is Joe Cool been frequenting your show flow?
Oh yeah, Joe Cool's the homie. And I actually get. I'm never gonna say it here. I'm not even gonna bring it up. But when I was in college, I won a bet with. I was dating my ex-wife at the time, and some people may have heard this story, but I won a bet with my ex-wife, and so I got to choose our Halloween costumes that year. And we went as Black Snake Moan, which, if you've seen the movie, Samuel Jackson as Christina Ricci and all that shit. But we went to a theater store because it was a college town. They had an actual theater store, and I got the bald cap, the makeup and shit, because I was Samuel L. Jackson, and we went to a party for her work. So these are her coworkers, not people I know well, but people who knew me, and I had these people introducing themselves to me, like they'd never met me before. They actually thought that I was some black dude that she brought with her to the Halloween party.
That's a good
and
one.
that was on accident, right? So if I can do that in college while I'm drunk on accident for a Halloween,
sure enough.
Yeah, imagine what you could do. Yeah.
I was also by the way, your coworkers are assholes. Not one of them was like, "Hey, where's Taylor? Who's this dude you're with?" They're all like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah.
That shows how much they like you guys.
Thanks for having my back, right?
Yeah. Like I expect nothing but free drinks for a long time at.
Yeah, no
She
shit.
was,
Right?
she was bartending then, and so.
Nice.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what this game is, what they're actually playing. The same thing, like I see shit and I go, okay, this is really suspicious. Like Duffy and his fucking final experiment. Here comes Smiling Bob, I'm just a preacher and I'm going to spend, $70,000 of my own money so other people can go to fucking Antarctica and shit, because nobody's ever been there before. Right. It's been 100 and how many? Come on.
Nobody has been there.
He reached out to me as secretary did. I left you a message. They sent me another email again. It's exactly the same thing.
Really? You sent me an email on that?
No, I didn't. He sent me an email. It's the same email, dude. It's just like, we contacted you twice before. We want you to contact us. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll contact you.
Do they want a deposit in order for you to get?
I showed up at the same time as him, or towards the end of this, so I've been showing up since. I hope you don't think the same of me. I'm just like, man, I didn't know how to be silent anymore. I was on like 3 different channels and all of them got run down.
That's not good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's awfully suspicious about you.
Yeah, what's that?
So all the channels you keep going to keep getting run down, huh?
Yeah, they're chasing you down, dude. I know.
That's
this dude's a snitch.
So why are you keep getting people's channels taken down, Butter?
Yeah, that's the question. Come on.
What's up?
How long you been a cop for?
My own crap. 12 years ago, I think I had one that was called "Dead to the World," and the next one was called "If You're a Christian," all words together, and the next one was "Their Lies." They're THEIR lies, LIES. So, anyways, but yeah, those were the 3 that I had. But,
and they all got taken down?
Yeah, I mean, obviously through like 2020 and all that kind of stuff. I had one that had a doctor on it, and I really didn't think it was going to get run down. Like, I already had 2 strikes on it, and I had a doctor that was speaking, and he was just bringing up basically different things about the vaccine and so on and so forth. But he was just bringing
that's how you get them taken down right there. You just demonstrated it.
He just said it.
And I didn't
make sure to step right on the hot words.
That was it. Yeah. So yeah, the vaccine.
Pronunciate it slowly.
But that was in 2022, and then after that, I just let it go. But that was If You're a Christian, and before that was Dead to the World. Dead to the World was up there, and I had about 30,000 subscribers back in between 2011 to 2013. But there's a whole big other story behind that too. Well, actually, I took that one down myself. But
the truth comes out.
Yeah. And
I don't call it. I
brought
don't
that
call
up
it the
with
V. I don't call it the V. I call it cornholio juice.
Yeah.
Whoa. You're gonna piss off Mike Judge.
I didn't want to start another. A lot of people ask me like, when are you going to start your next whatever? And I'm like, I really don't want to do it. I'd rather just go on and talk to other people. And then I just felt like this was a safe platform with Sovereign and also Flats. And so I decided to
We'll see how it
Makes
goes.
people
I
feel
talked to
safe,
Whitfit
but you
and-
got to be careful around him because he's sneaky. He'll sneak. You watch his hands. He'll put a finger in you if you're not careful.
I don't care. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, no, I talked to Sovereign and all that. Sovereign and Whitsitt and Alan, and yeah, I gave Alan and them a nice. I had a conversation with them one night, and I gave them actually a full background, not on YouTube or any other. It wasn't recorded, and somebody actually blocked me because he said I was taking up too much time, and I was like, oh my god, it was like 2:30 in the morning. Now I had a few drinks to even tell them the story because it was just reliving the whole thing. I came on.
I got time.
I
gotta say though, I can't handle a motherfucker comes on in drones, especially if they've been drinking. I
get it.
Zero tolerance for drunk people.
But can we take a minute and appreciate Sov's your brand of irritation with people is for whatever reason one of the best louches on the internet.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, he's got great louche, and especially if you and your son are together and you're getting the same irritation with the same person in the same way. It's like, give me that.
It's like, okay, stop now. Yeah,
let me vampire some of that energy.
The only thing I couldn't understand was they didn't ever tell me to like stop, and I didn't think that many people were on. I think there was like 6 or 7 people, so I felt like it was a safe space. And I got into it,
You should never feel like that on YouTube.
No, it wasn't on YouTube. It was on Discord. It was on like a Discord kind of space. And
I hate
Discord's got more trolls than YouTube does.
Oh yeah.
It was not.
Definitely.
It wasn't anything else. But anyways, I did go on Jeranism one time, on like a Friday, and I think that was probably like a month or 2 ago, 2 months ago.
And speaking of Jaren, when's the next 440 coming out? Bob?
The 420. It's always Wednesday. 420.
You know what? Sovereign. We gotta have like.
I'm still giving the information, Buttered. I'm still giving you
that louche.
Man,
I'm muting right now. You're muting.
Oh, it's all right. It's, I don't know. I come from the days of CB. If there's the other guy talking, if you key up, not only does nobody get to hear him, nobody's going to hear you either.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's Wednesdays at 4:20 Pacific time, but that's probably later due to Jaren is never on time for any of his shows. It's just I told him
neither am I though.
He's on CPT. He's on Colored People Time.
Oh,
and I always joke with him about that, And so yeah, that's always every Wednesday at 7:20 Eastern, and we do the Wheel of Wizardry, which is what selects what NASA documentary we're going to make fun of.
And the last one you did with who was that? Jimmy Stewart. That was That was bad, dude. That was like torture almost. Hearing Jimmy Stewart narrate.
And none of those guys knew who Jimmy Stewart was. Neither one of the guys out there with me knew who's this guy, Jimmy Stewart. And I'm like, are you shitting? You've never seen The Wonderful Life? You've never? I mean, it's like, hello, Jimmy Stewart.
That was the Christmas time fair when I was growing up. You had to watch that show. It was.
I think that's been replaced by the Christmas Story. I think that's been replaced by the Christmas Story.
I don't understand why that movie was ever a thing in the first place.
I think I do with bankers and how socially conscious they are and how they want to take care of all their neighbors.
Well, and hold on. Let's talk about claymation. What's even worse than that is Rudolph with that creepy ass claymation.
Yeah, they were high as a kite when they made that.
Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the message that Rudolph conveys to everybody. Okay. So it's okay to make fun of people because of a physical defect or their handicap until you realize that you can exploit their handicap for your gain. Then it's okay to be friends with them. See, right? They didn't like old Rudolph because he was different.
It's a
Santa was
capitalist
even
movie.
down with it.
Yeah.
He didn't care that the other reindeers were ostracizing him, causing psychological damage. And then they realized that, hey, we can exploit his fucking physical abnormality to our benefit. Now we like him. That's like, let's pick on Billy because he's in a wheelchair, and then Billy starts giving you rides down the hill.
Yeah, then he got pegs.
But I mean, that's a pretty awful thing. And what was with the little gay elf that wanted to be a dentist? What's up with that guy, man?
I know. That's fucked up too.
Hanging out with that lawyer. I think him and that gold prospector had something going on, is what I think.
The Island of Misfit Toys reminded me of childhood.
What does?
Island of Misfit Toys. Bunch of broken shit everywhere and like, yeah.
I thought you said Miss Victoria. I thought you said Victoria, and I was like, I miss those catalogs too. I had a good. You had a good childhood then, trying to race to the mailbox before mom could get the mail.
Right. Oh, yeah, Victoria's Secrets was awesome.
Oh my god. Yeah.
My dad.
They discontinued the free catalogs, by the way. If anybody was like, I wonder what happened to those, maybe I'll get a subscription. They don't do that anymore.
You remember late at night when your friends stay over and you're trying to watch the scrambled porn channel and you go, look outside, there's a tit.
God, that was the worst. It's like, it's like going to the strip club or something. You go there and like, then you walk out still like disappointed with a boner.
But it was so bad it was scrambled. Every so often you'd see bush or a boob or something like that. I see one, there's one, Hey, we didn't have a whole lot, 3 channels. Cable came in, that was big news, man. That was big news. What? We got 16 channels? What? Commercial free? That's awesome.
Yeah, I got the belt. I got the belt for Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition that I hid underneath my mattress. And my dad found it, and he gave me the belt. He said,
your dad, that's a terrible parenting move. He was trying to teach you to be gay or something.
Yeah, it's
like if he doesn't approve of it, take it away. But let's not associate hot, scantily clad women with pain. That sets up for future. There's a whole lot of weirdness that can go down that path.
All right, hold on. Are you guys ready for this one? This is Dog. I remember watching this when I was a kid.
Boss, can I ask you something? Yeah, what? Why would you extend credit to those carnival people when you know they ain't got a dime in their jeans? All right, I'll tell you. Because that's the best time to extend credit to anybody, Cowbell. You see something? That lady ain't never gonna sell enough tickets to pay the rent on the fairgrounds. What was a star attraction laid up in the hospital back in Cedar City. You see, that promissory note she signed pledges all the show's property as collateral. And if she can't pay the rent, why, all I gotta do is foreclose and the whole shebang. The whole carnival of thrills is mine for 5 cents on the dollar.
There you go. That's the whole example right there.
And just
that's too much.
And just for YouTube's edification, there's that. There we go. We'll put that up there. Just cover the old ass. Why not? Either watch them come back, and I'll have to turn that off.
7 seconds, so I figured it'd be.
I mean, either way, everything's a contract, so
they don't matter. It don't matter. This thing has got like a digital Jew hook to it. I'm not shitting you. This entire fucking YouTube has a digital, an artificial Jew that's going through and finding all
it's
fucking.
An audit Jew. The artificial audit Jew.
I just in my head I just sang a few lines of Hotel California. So sorry if you get a copyright strike for that too.
Yeah, right.
I'm doing it now.
Definitely getting struck on that one.
You inspired me. Now you get 2 strikes.
Well, some of the shit that they get. So technically, this is the whole thing. The whole world's got their asses tied up in litigated fucking horse shit. They really do. They have everything tied up in little fucking pedantic fucking laws and just.
I was waiting to hear what they were tied up in so that I could say my ass ain't tied up in it, but no, you're right.
It is. It's all tied up into this fucking little pedantic fucking horse shit, I mean, it's so bad, even just with with law, that at any given time, anybody is guilty of committing felonies like all day fucking long, and they don't even know it.
It's going to get worse.
This jackass Trump talking about, oh, let's throw people in jail if they burn a flag. Yeah, because our jails are not crowded enough with nonviolent people. Fuck God. This guy and these people that are behind him, my God, what a dangerous crew.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And they all think God's on their side because of their judgmental asses and the way they behave. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get behind any of these fucking Trump-tardians, man, or any of these people that believe in this nonsense.
I'm more scared of Trump than I am of Hillary or anybody else, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's all there is. Whatever's coming has already been planned. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, once you start coming, you can't stop.
Yeah, it's already been foregone, concluded what they're going to do. They already got this planned out. Everything has been planned.
Just try to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Don't get it in your hair, your eyes.
Move to the country, boys. Move to the country. That's all I can say.
Head on a swivel.
I wish.
Eat a lot of peaches.
I need to find a way out of the future of smart cities where you get a ticket if you ate too much and if you fucking took a shit too many times. Oh, ticket. You shit too many times in one day.
What's that thing I saw? Ford is talking about making cars that'll turn in people that are speeding.
Yes, and people that are drunk. People that are drunk too.
No, I mean other cars. Your car will narc out other drivers.
I don't know if you've seen doorbells lately.
That's fucked up. I didn't know that.
That's why I drive a 2001 Honda Civic and a 1999 Silverado.
I mean, that's fantastic gas mileage, sir. I applaud your choice in actually both because I have it's a Toyota and a Silverado.
That's only two. I have four, but yeah, they're all between like 1999 and 2005 is all of them. Subaru Tribeca is my oldest car, quote unquote. My newest car, I should say. And a Toyota
that is messed up.
2003. Yeah, forget that crap. I buy old cars and I buy them with low mileage, and that's it.
Facebook Marketplace. I have since Facebook Marketplace popped up. I have not bought or sold a car. I've bought one car from somewhere else, and it was a random deal. But like that's all. Yeah, and once I paid off my loan on, never have another car loan again. Fuck that shit.
Yep, I never had a car loan in my life. Well, one. I had a GTO 2004, and I had that for about 3 months. And that was like in 2003 because, my wife said, either you get this out of you or whatever.
I mean, you got to, you got to buy it. You got to at least try it, right? You got to buy a new car once. But then I won't do it again.
Yeah.
Well, when I was, when we were talking about how this shit's all scripted and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? What news company, what network would you say probably hates Donald Trump the most?
None
or
of them.
appears to.
Well,
CNN.
Fox, right? Fox.
No,
I'd say
not
all of
CNN.
them.
Yeah.
CNN. Would you say
Yeah.
CNN
But-
is one of the best fans?
Or MSNBC.
I don't watch any
Hold
of
on,
them.
I didn't. That's not the topic of discussion, but I'm just asking the question. So why would CNN, even though they had never done it before, broadcast Donald Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania live? Why were they showing that live?
Because
CNN.
it's scripted.
Thank you.
Controlled.
That's it.
I
right
hope you
there.
don't get a strike.
Second, man, I was laughing the whole time. I was like, here we go. And action. Let's go. All right. Look what time it is. Whoa, wait. They gave us a little break during summertime. Oh, I was expecting around like Olympics, but they were like 2 weeks early. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Right on time. 2 weeks early. Let's go. It's not Olympics. It's time for it. Let's go. Now we gotta just fight through this crap until the end of the year because they're gonna just push it until November. My God.
So
The
I'm going to go
primary-
ahead. I'm going to give everybody a chance to take a break and get a pee time in. And I'm going to play this little video. This is pretty good. Give me a chance to take a pee and get another cup of coffee and shit. And we'll be back when this is over.
Word.
So they lie. Have you figured this out? They lie to you, right? We have allowed science to replace myth and spirituality. The elite have done a great job at making it seem like the spiritual world is completely separate from the physical one. When you believe that God doesn't have anything to do with all of your life, you surrender these areas to us, he says. So we will take over the realm of government. We will take over the realm of media. We will take over the arts. And we will destroy you through those weapons. He says we intentionally weaponize them. So a lot of people can't figure out what's going on because they won't look at, or they're deluded and blinded to the reality of a higher level connected spiritual plan that's at work in this global New World Order. There's really only two people in the world that understand that what's happening today is spiritual and that it involves a mass delusion. And who are those? It's people with Christian worldview, biblical worldview, versus people like this with a evil, self-conscious, satanic worldview. Those are really the only two people who at a high level, typically speaking, can really put all the puzzle pieces together. If you understand that this is a conscious, willed, evil plan, then it all begins to make sense. Where the satanic aristocracy, those who are truly evolved, those at the top of the Darwinian social totem pole, will brutalize and have a slave population underneath them. That is the technocratic elite, the eugenics elite, basically. And he actually says, no, we still believe in eugenics, by the way. We actually want to, in a dysgenic sense, depopulate all of you. You're all dumbed down, blind cattle and sheep, and you're going to go to your own destruction. It says that it's precisely because people can't see that it's a spiritual battle, that is a satanic plan, that we will win. For these people, they believe that they're going to win precisely because of the weakness of the people on our side. And he's actually correct about the weakness of Christianity, so-called in the modern world, the weakness of those who claim to believe these things. They are capitulating to people like this. Christianity has so weakened itself that most people in the West no longer actually believe the stories of the Bible or Christianity, and yet they have the vague Christian morals. And so he makes this interesting argument that if Christianity isn't true, and most of the normies in the West are basing their, quote, morality on a purely pragmatic pseudo-Christian basis, which isn't true, he says, then you don't actually have a reason to disagree with his hedonistic, pleasure-based, destructive morality. And if we think about that for a second, it makes sense, right? If God doesn't exist, if the Bible's not true, then there's not really a reason for the Western ghost of Christianity, ethics, and morals that it has, right? But if the religion is true, then we do have a basis. It does make sense why we would follow the Ten Commandments, why we would oppose evil, why we would oppose degeneracy, right? So that, again, we have to at least admit that the Satanists are a little more adept at least understanding the reality of the spiritual realm than most of the Christian world. And that's precisely why Christianity is on the decline in the West and is losing, because we're allowing these degenerate, evil people through our complicit, willful acquiescence to rule over us. Now, whether you believe that or not doesn't really matter. You may think this is all nonsense. Oh, I don't believe any of that nonsense. That's crazy. But these people believe it and they act upon it. This is their worldview. And they have a lot of power. They have a lot of money. And they see you as sheep to be trampled upon. And not everybody can be a robot polisher. And you thought that Satanism or these kinds of occult groups were about freedom and liberty, right? Well, he says, no, that's what we tell the lower level dumb people. Groups like the Church of Satan aren't real Satanism. They're kind of fronts for a higher elite connected to billionaires and very powerful people. He says at the higher levels, we understand that reality is not about freedom. It's a pure predator-prey relationship. And in this purely predator-prey relationship, he says we have the dominion and the right via nature to subjugate and destroy you in that predator-prey relationship. And so you thought all along, right, that, oh, there's just liberty, it's just freedom. No, it's not. It's a satanic New World Order.
Oh, what'd you all think of that one?
I
I love
think it is
robot power.
amazing.
There's some basic bitch logic. Well, it's illogic. It's the same sort. It's just the same. It's the same mindset that makes MAGA people super MAGA people and Trump derangement syndrome people super derangement syndrome. It's just the same group based provocation.
I don't know if I saw anything that was.
I guess the Christianity being weak part could be pandering to people.
That's what I would say is it's not necessarily weak, like he was saying, a pseudo belief. If you take like East Orthodox Christians in the East, they think these Christians in the West are like, wow, have you people ever lost your way? You know, I mean, when they see like Christians for Israel, that type of thing. What I think is the biggest problem is that I don't think religion and God have a whole lot to do with one another, to tell you the truth.
Likely nothing at all.
I think that it's somebody else's relationship with God, if there is even a relationship with God, that you're adopting rather than having your own personal relationship with God. And I look at it like this. I've said it before. People that have brothers and sisters can really understand this, that you have a relationship with your mother or your father, and your brother has one and your sister has one, but none of you have the exact same relationship with your mother or your father. It's unique. Each one is unique.
Correct.
But your mother or your father loves each of you just as much as the other, but they have different ways that you have a relationship with them. Okay, so that's unique, and it's got to be like that with God. If you were to try to adopt your sister's relationship or your brother's relationship with one of your parents, it's not going to work because it's not genuine. You understand?
Exactly. I mean, I totally agree with that. And I think just like if you think you're free, then you won't bother resisting your slavery. You know, if you think that this social group is spirituality, guess what? You're never going to ever develop.
Right. Exactly.
Faith. You're not going to
My
develop.
granddaughter Sophie.
But you know, when I do find that it gets worse. So I have to say the one that's been Mandela affected, where it said we're two or more gather in my name, and now it says we're two or three. When it gets to a point where it's real huge, I think you lose the communion value that's involved with that, the fellowship aspect of it. And it now starts to just turn into an organization. And that's where it's a problem, when it's an organization. Fellowshipping, you know, like with a group, not a crowd, not an auditorium, but a group of like-minded individuals all resonating within the same frequency zone and on the same thing, I think has positive effect. But I think it's kind of meaningless when you're in a big mega church like Joel Osteen or Flow State's favorite guy. What's that guy?
Like Copeland? That's my dog.
Copeland. I know you love it.
It divulges into even.
So they lie.
Yeah, it does.
You mind if I chime in there?
Real quick, yeah, just 1 second. But the one thing you said is infighting. You see, go ahead.
What is infighting?
When you get in large groups like that, then you've got these little factions that break out within that group.
When you have large groups of non-like-minded individuals, however, is when you kind of lose it. It's when all the people who are involved in the fellowship have the same mind, the same will, the same understanding, and the same focus. That's when you have the most effect on the world around you.
And that's
Bible
exactly
says
why religion will always be a problem. That's always because I can hold this up and say this is a screwdriver, right? And we all know that it's a screwdriver. But when I say this is hope or love or an intangible concept, none of us are going to have the same understanding of it. It's inherently Well, it's sort of dishonest to explain something metaphysical to somebody else and say, now you have to believe this too, right? Because I told you.
Right.
Especially when it's something.
Hold that up again. I didn't see.
And if you don't, there's consequences.
Yeah, I mean, the point is that intangible language cannot convey an understanding of intangibles the way it can of tangibles.
Well, see, Catholicism in its inception actually did a great job of repackaging what Jesus taught and devised it into a weapon to threaten people with. You know, if you don't follow what he says or what we say it is, then you're going to burn eternally. You know.
Listen to this, Carrie. Listen to this bird. This is Flo's preacher right here. He's like
sick.
Nice to see you again, Flo.
Oh yeah.
Kill that thing right
and
now.
you as well.
Oh, he's so sickly.
I do love him.
I'm telling you, I've met him.
I got somebody dancing around on the floor right now. Get on up out of bed. Come on.
Like, come on, man. How can people not see this dude? It's nuts.
You were showing the CIA masks earlier, right? Well, Kenneth Copeland's got the most freaking the thinnest mask for a demon face that I've ever seen.
And I would do the same.
They got no mask at all.
When I was a kid, I went to a church.
Fucking wine. They're putting their blood in this fucking grape juice or whatever.
Jesus said,
"What the hell?"
I mean, that doesn't even seem that strange if you look at the tradition or the sacrament that they're.
Yeah,
as long as we're drinking blood, it doesn't seem like a terribly long extension away from that.
It's all about blood matching.
Which is his and which is mine.
It is.
Our blood.
Well, Bob, I'm going to say goodnight to you.
Symbolically.
I gotta go.
All right, Raj, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. I left a little video in the back. It's a Woody Harrelson's SNL skit if you want to look at it later.
He said, "This
all right.
my blood."
Yeah, I'll check you later. I'll be listening.
Wait. Oh, I see it. Okay, I see it. Okay, I got it.
Later.
And I want you to be this way every time you take communion, and you ought to take it a lot.
You got to cut your hand. You got to pretend to cut your hand into the red 40.
Yeah, pretend to cut your hands because there's no way he's cutting his hand.
Now his blood is in my body. Yes, sir. It's in there. His blood is mixed with mine.
Man, I think people who fall for this dude deserve the fuck out of it. I'm sorry.
Exactly. That's why he gets around the consequences.
Thank you.
Oh, I mean, I don't.
Anybody?
You know, I don't. I'm not.
Isn't it true that you
I'm not religious.
that you can
Sorry, go ahead.
luxury?
That guy didn't get up either.
Did
He
you pay
pushed
for
him over
Tyler
in his
Perry's
wheelchair.
Gulfstream jet, for example?
For example, that's really none of your business. But
What's he gonna do about it?
Business of your donors.
Stand up for himself.
Watch this.
This is the average. That guy got a minor fracture and a nice time with
Isn't it true
Jules.
that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
well, for example, that's really none of your business. But
Isn't it the business
Oh,
of
I
your
love
donors?
Inside Edition. Oh yeah.
I paid. The airplane that we have that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere near. Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help it.
Look at his face.
Oh,
Again,
jeez, that
getting back to the
fluoride
comment.
stairs.
You said that you
It really looks like one of those fake FBI masks or CIA.
That's
He
what I was
has
just
the most
saying.
predatory looks, facial expressions.
And don't you ever
Like
say I
Adam
did.
Lanza eyes.
Right there.
Yeah, no.
We wrestle not.
Look at that
flesh
face.
and blood.
There are
Principalities and powers. And I prayed about it, and I thought, I'm not missing that dedication in Jerusalem. Without the airplane that we have that I bought from Tyler, and I didn't pay anywhere. Tyler's one of the greatest guys.
Talcottism is the only true religion.
He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy.
Question then. Well, okay, all right, but I want to get to the demons because people are very concerned about that comment.
A chance here inside edition.
This
I
is too
love
much.
guys. And here's what happened. We flew in 21 days.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna have to mute.
70 hours, 40,000 miles, touched 5 continents, and preached face to face personally with 125,000 people.
Do you ever use your private jets to go visit your vacation homes, for example?
Yes, I do.
Said that Joe Biden is president. Ha! Now with these flames, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign, ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire. Wow. Great son of all mortal wisdom. Owl of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
Shut up, frog.
That's supposed to be Copeland?
Yeah. That's all you have to do. She go on. Tevrema på bröders to cinema tetke. Enge und genyan dos shik pukula namen breme mesto. Stelo kla hamalana.
Yabba dabba doo.
I don't know, man. What do you think about that? Just thought that was a nice little montage. I've been saving that for you, Flo.
It was a nice montage. You know I love that shit. And
he's got the Kenneth Copeland picture now.
I swear to God, if I'm not religious, but I believe in I've got enough respect for the supernatural, whatever created sentience, that I'm too scared to do it. But if I were not, I would scrap my YouTube channel and make a new one, selling God.
There you go.
Because
you make a shit ton of money.
Oh, it looks like they do. You ever seen Joel Osteen's house?
Sorry, you cut out for a second on me. Oh yeah,
yeah. His house is fucking phenomenal.
That's what I'm saying.
Bank, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and what about Joyce Myers? It's obscene. Slayer had a really good song about that whole televangelist crap.
Yeah, the amount of mega church pastors that bragged about their yachts or planes is more than maybe some millionaires, to be honest.
But whether it's a mega church or a tiny church, the climax of every service is always give God some money.
Yeah.
Yep. Tithes.
Put your seed in. Put your seed in, and we'll get 10,000 back.
Commercial sound and video. Of course, I'm really up here. I even here's a witness right behind me.
I got you. Just talked to God, and God confirmed.
God confirmed it. There you go. So
God told me today to ask you each for $1,000.
I flew him up there on my jet that I bought.
Like a G6, man. Like a G6.
It was Tyler Perry's jet.
Oh my God! Yeah. This whole clown show, there's just so much. It's just hard to pick a certain thing. It's just I can't believe some of the things people will go on camera and say and do, and just totally and everybody just goes, "Oh, okay, it's real because we saw it on the TV." And I'm like, wait a second, is nobody ever taken into account? All right, so why did CNN suddenly decide here's one in some little asshole town in Pennsylvania that nobody's ever heard of, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna broadcast that on CNN.
Well, for people like you and me and everyone else who's on this channel, it's pretty obvious why. I'm gonna have to dip out again.
Well, hold on, you got to tell us why though.
I just got home.
No, but why is it
a long day?
Right.
Oh, why is it obvious?
Yeah, you said it's obvious, and I don't know that it is.
Oh, I'm just saying that it's obvious why CNN put that on there when they're the most anti-Trump thing ever.
It's not obvious to me. That's what I'm saying. I want your explanation for why.
Because they
my
wanted
quick
people to
explanation
see
is
it.
because they wanted to show him getting almost shot.
Yeah. It's
They
part
knew
of
it
the
was going to
show.
happen. It's part of the show.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Dun. Hey.
Yeah.
Well, sure. But they're. I think most of the anti-Trump, the whole show, they're part of the show, right? The hatred for Trump is part of the show. You need an enemy. You need an antagonist. And just hold on. Oh, good shit. This brings me back to your little intermission video, where the video says that, see, this is what happens when you don't have God. Of course, you need a fucking enemy in any performance.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah. At the same time, you do have to reject that which is evil, that which is
absolutely
on it, right? And that itself does come from God, and that doesn't come from a church.
False.
That doesn't come from a fucking church. Okay, that comes from.
It doesn't come from a church. Anybody who's actually got a solid, genuine soul in them.
Yes,
be able to stand on their own feet.
The transcendental argument, yeah.
Me personally, I like to call it the one consciousness. I never call it God, but I understand if you call it God.
Oh man!
But
God is an ancient Phoenician god for our English word.
Well, God's a title. God's a title. It's not a name.
In English, it's a title. In ancient Phoenician, it is the god of fortune.
Oh well, we're speaking English right now.
Yeah, this is like the same argument as the people that say amen. That amen is actually.
I think that
I've heard that too. Amun Re, whatever.
I think that the psyop that you can't have morality without Jesus, whatever religion, this God, the God belief system.
Yeah, the
is a
Frank
psyop just to confuse people about what morality is and why it's important, regardless of whether or not you believe in any of the institutional.
It's an argument that sounds good, but after a little bit of digging and scratching investigation, it really falls on its face.
It falls right apart.
You can be an atheist with good morals.
That's what I was hoping to, and
where do those morals come from?
I think it's naturally instinctual inside.
I think it
do the right thing.
I agree. We have an inherent. We have an inherent. I think understanding between what's good and what's bad really early on. I've seen some really cool studies with like little toddlers where they had two identical puppets of rabbits, right? And one was wearing a green shirt and the other one was wearing a red shirt. And there was this other puppet that was an elephant, and he was trying to open up this trunk, this box, and he was having trouble. And you could watch the reactions of the kids. So the other rabbit, the one rabbit comes over, that puppet, and helps the elephant open up the case. And the little kid smiles. You see the kid smile. He's happy that there was success with the endeavors, that the little rabbit helped. And then they had the same scenario run with the same kid. And then the other identical rabbit with a different shirt come in and try to keep the box closed and dissuade the elephant from being able to open the box, right? And you could see the dismay on the child's face. The child was like not happy about that. And they did several more things like that, kind of innocuous. But then later, when they had the two rabbit puppets offer a cookie to the kid, and the bad rabbit, quote unquote, the kids wouldn't take a cookie from the bad rabbit. They didn't want nothing to do with the fucking bad rabbit, but they would take it from the rabbit that, not all of them, because everybody has a price. And they found out that when they got to a point where they increased it to a large amount of cookies, the kids would sell out and go ahead and take it. You see? But initially, they didn't want anything to do with it. That rabbit's bad. You see, it wasn't until they were bought off with a high price, or any price, whatever their price is, that they would go ahead and then accept the bad rabbit. And that's what
morals are, and I would agree with this to the extent that, like, if God created everything, then sure, God created morals too. But in this world, the system, it's absolutely apparent, I think, at least, why how morals are a beneficial survival strategy, especially for a social creature like we are. Yeah,
Silly rabbit. Lots of chocolate chips are
I don't
needed to
think
buy a kid.
anybody has. I'm sorry, Incarnate. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I was just making a quip. Silly rabbit. It takes a lot of chocolate chips to buy a kid.
Yeah, right. But the thing is that I don't think there's anybody that thinks it's okay to harm another person. I don't think there's anybody that really thinks that that's okay.
Well, you have to be programmed that way through a lot of trauma and a lot of repeated,
Yeah.
That's why MK has to be pounded into somebody's soul.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Looney Tunes.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's and that's what I say. That aspect of it is programmed or taught, or justifications for immoral actions.
Well, dude, you know how many generations it took, or how many decades that it took to go from Looney Tunes to The Simpsons to freaking South Park? If you just went straight to South Park, nobody would have accepted it. It had to be a gradual process.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, to some degree, but like, think how abruptly Drag Queen Story Hour entered the show.
Well, that
definitely would have went over if you were just
okay. Yeah, no, never mind. I just proved your point. I tap out.
That's what killed it right there.
Yeah.
What I understand what Incarnate's saying is that this gradual pushing of the envelope, just within my lifetime. I Dream a Genie. Barbara Eden could not show her navel. Now it's no limit to what they show, right? And this is just within my lifetime. They were throwing a fit when Lucille Ball got pregnant. They couldn't have her be pregnant on the show. That would suggest that they sleep together. We can't have that. I mean, their bedroom set was 2 separate beds with the nightstands in between them, right?
You go from Leave It to Beaver to suddenly somebody's pregnant. It's like, what? How did that happen?
Your palms will get hairy and your eyes will explode if you masturbate.
And the thing is that we went from that level of censorship to where they did kind of push the envelope. I agree that was kind of silly, but the actress Lucille Ball was indeed pregnant, and so they got the idea. Let's go ahead and have the baby on the show. Have Lucy actually pregnant on the show, and we can have little Ricky and the whole 9 yards, right? And the fucking producers were losing their mind. No, we can't do this.
Lucy Spur.
And both are dysfunctional approaches to human sexuality, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same problem, just a different expression.
Yep, it's a Hegelian dialectics. It's two extremes. This binary programming that we have. But what they do is they keep pushing the envelope, and the problem is that when it's true, when you give them an inch, they take a mile. I mean, just recently, I saw a video of men standing on the street corner, dressed in kinky leather bullshit, blowing each other and pissing in each other's mouths, right? While kids and their parents and shit.
What were you on?
What?
Was that?
No, I actually ran across this on TikTok, or not TikTok, X. It was like this is going on. It said, meanwhile, this is going on in San Francisco.
That's the one with the CIA backdoor, right?
Yeah, they all have a CIA backdoor.
But
the reality is we've seen a lot of this stuff. I mean, even during last year's Pride festivals, I remember seeing one that got me so crazy. Here's these guys are out there doing that kind of shit.
Bikes, just naked.
And a cop is standing. Listen, a cop is standing right there. And this guy starts reading out of the Bible, and he's totally across the street from these freaks doing this shit. And the cop comes up and stops him from reading the Bible. Doesn't stop the homos from BFing each other right there on the sidewalk. No, that's fine.
I was thinking of another one. There was a man.
It's almost like it's created to provoke.
There was a man in the UK who was praying the rosary and during a Pride festival, and he got arrested.
Yeah. I mean, of course it's designed to provoke. They're always trying to provoke.
I'm just saying, encouraging people in your audience to be slow to react to little internet things that are obviously, Don't buy in.
Mull it over. Think about it. And when you see it, go, okay, what are they trying to run on me?
Righteous indignation is the most. Yeah, righteous indignation is people shouldn't value that shit.
It's all about depopulation. That's why they discourage families and heterosexuality. It's all about don't reproduce.
It's also about filling the proverbial cup of filth to the point where God's anger will be kindled, and then there's no turning back.
That's if you believe in God's anger. Like Flo stated, I tend not to believe in that.
No, I understand.
What's happening, Andrew? You're muted.
On that note, I'm gonna dip out. My wife's waiting for me to come in the house. I just got home. It's thanks for having me on, and you'll be hearing more from me.
All right, we'll see you later.
Excellent.
Have a great night.
Good times.
Awesome.
So I don't have very long, but Dave, you were saying you don't think anyone believes it's okay to harm anyone else, and I would highly disagree with that. There's a whole bunch of people like thugs on the street that completely
No. I mean, inherently, we know this. The thugs on the street know it's wrong, but they just don't care. Okay, they've lost empathy. Something has happened that's caused them to be that way.
Even
initially, I would have to say maybe not everyone, because you do have your anomalies, but most people have an inherent sense of right and wrong. It's sort of like, I don't know if any of you have ever done it, but many of us have had that experience of taking a candy bar from the store, or even thinking about it, maybe going to do it, but decide not to. But there's this little feeling you get on your inside that tells you that you know that that's fucking wrong. You have to hide in the darkness to be able to do it. You have to hide from sight to be able to do it. And you just know, though, there's that little feeling in there like, oh, I know this ain't right. I'm not supposed to do this. Now, you can choose to override that. And after doing that a number of times, you can just learn to ignore it. But it's still there.
Right. But my point, that was a more extreme situation. And then you can even go into like combat things and whatever. But if I find out that someone has harmed my parents or my immediate family, I'm going to be very, very vindictive, and I will feel good about it afterwards.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
But will you? Think you will? Now wait a second. That's interesting because you think you will, and I agree. I have had those same ideas, but there again, you have to look. I've seen a lot of times where people have done something like that, and then at the end, after a period of time goes by, they're like, "That wasn't."
And
right.
the only reason you're vindictive is because you knew it was wrong in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, they did something wrong, and
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I
don't
agree.
necessarily have the eye for an eye kind of situation, but if someone, I've heard stories, unfortunately, of these people that are basically home invaders, and in one circumstance, there was this lady that was in her 70s or 80s or something, and they broke into her house, like kicking the door in, not even like knocking on the door, waiting for it to be open. And she was there, and they basically sexually assaulted her, beat her up to the point where she was almost dead, and then robbed her of everything precious inside of her home. And then the guy, the son of this lady, found out who it was and basically put him in a coma. I'm like, hey, I consider that vindictive to the point where it was justified.
Well, there again, there's another natural law. That is, I agree. I can see that going down. That would be a cause to want to do harm. But I'm talking about, like, nobody wants really to initiate violence. You know what I'm saying?
You're a psychopath.
I wouldn't disagree. I would disagree with that too. I'd say, but the existence of sadism doesn't mean that there are people who don't know what right and wrong is.
Is that learned? Is sadism learned through some kind of abuse or this kind of thing? Because you have to look at what's going on with somebody at the age of 0 to 5, 0 to 8. You have to look at what goes on there, because that's what hardwires somebody. So let's take somebody who gets their ass whipped all the time, corporal punishment, that kind of thing. They might equate that with love after a while and therefore become a sadist or a masochist for that matter. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a learned or programmed behavior. But what I'm talking about is initially the human condition, the way we're built. that until you get corrupted, I think you already have that inherent sense of right and wrong, what's good and what's bad, what's happy, what's sad, that kind of thing.
I think what you're talking about are the typical morals that a lot of religions use, and even atheists will still agree that it's wrong to lie, cheat, steal, kill, and then like also to be unkind or to not love or those kind of things. There's a lot of other moral aspects that go into it, but when it comes to like basically revenge, being vindictive, or what's that word in the Bible?
Vengeance?
No. It starts with a J.
Judgment.
Yeah,
I don't know. We go to
yeah. But either way, there are people that have been in very, very bad situations in their lives where they were abused. And let's just go to more of an extreme of these serial killers. Some of these victims of these serial killers, what do you think they would want to do to that person?
I don't know the point you're making with that, though.
There have been there's been many victims of serial killers or their families that have actually forgiven the serial killers for some reason, like just in court. So I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Well, we're talking about cases right now, though, where already violence has been initiated. Already the ball has been set in motion. That's a little bit different. What I'm talking about is like, and I guarantee you that anybody like that guy that shot the guy that diddled his kid, shot him in the
dude's based as fuck.
I love that.
Right? Okay. So though, that the guy knew inside, down deep inside, that killing was bad, but the fucking revenge was greater. I understand it completely. I do. I understand it. I probably would be hard pressed to not do something like that myself. But that would still be that thing. I can tell you, even a soldier in combat, right? Even though you've been hyped up, even though you've got your enemy been dehumanized for you, right? They're just gooks. They're animals. They do this, they do that, blah, 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 blah. The first thing usually a soldier does when he finally kills another enemy soldier is he gets sick. He gets sick. And it's like, how did I override that? How did I actually override that? And it's like, you're not really thinking of it consciously, but you're realizing that you did that at the behest of another guy. Somebody else told you to do that. Why were you even in this situation to begin with?
Yeah, well, the whole situation that I had to deal with was it's them or me. And I'm a really good shot, so I took that shot, and I don't have any confirmed kills, but I know I fucking killed people.
Right. I mean, but there again, how did you why were you in that situation?
I volunteered.
Right. And for what? Why? What would make you want to volunteer to go into a situation where it's kill or be killed?
I guess it's the adventure, plus it's a career opportunity and
the lulls.
Yeah, basically.
Wow. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the inverted pentagram right there.
Oh, I don't do the whole Satan thing. I don't believe in.
No. I mean, it has nothing to do with Satan. It has to do with whether you put earthly and worldly things above the spirit. Okay. So when you look at a 5-pointed star and the top point is up, okay, that is the top point is the representation of spirit. The other 4 points are the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Yeah. When it's inverted means that you're putting those elements, the worldly things, above spirit. So at the sacrifice of your soul, at the sacrifice of your spirit, you're willing to do things for earthly goods that are actually morally wrong.
I would agree with that. But like I said, I don't have very long. I got like 10 more minutes before I have to get back at work. But yeah, I think this is like a conversation that can be had for like the next 5 or 6 hours.
Absolutely. That's why I can't understand a cop. How do you put your morals on the shelf?
Outsource it
for 8 to 10 hours and then suddenly adopt them back when you're not in your suit anymore?
Well, look about the pharmaceutical companies and the medical industry. They know what they're doing is wrong and they're still doing it.
Yep.
That's how how almost everybody works. The whole world works that way. You either outsource moral decisions to the government or to Jesus or whatever. Most people defer their own moral capacity.
Well, I mean, I think
yeah.
I don't think
even though I don't attend church, right? And I don't do any of that stuff. By the definition of being a Christian, I fit the bill. And that's the actual definition. Like trying to be as much like that dude as you can be. Like, be chill, be cool with people, accept them, but don't take no shit either. Sometimes a banker needs their ass kicked,
Yeah.
So I look at it like that. That's what the definition of a Christian is to me, not somebody who just wears an emblem of a cross, a form of idolatry, in my opinion, and goes every Sunday and has somebody else tell them what this book they have is telling them. And then once they leave there, they don't have to be worried about it. It's almost like God insurance.
Do you think Christianity has helped improve people's understanding of morals or confuse them more? And I don't know that I actually know my answer to that. I
don't think it's Christianity itself. I think it's the individuals that bend it around to suit their needs.
Well, hey, Dave, thank you very much for having me on. I got to get going. I will
right on, Andrew. Thanks for coming up, bro.
Have a good night, Andrew.
That's everybody bends it to their will. Like the Bible came from the Catholic Church. It was created by my great grandpa Constantine.
Grandpa Constantine. Twice removed.
No, he is. I think it's my 40th great grandpa or something stupid like that.
If the guy actually exists, I'm looking at we might not. Our history might not be as old as what they telling us. That's a distinct possibility that our history is nothing. That we've only been here. How would you know if we've been here any longer than maybe 100 years, 200 years for that matter?
Maybe we don't have any great grandpas at all. Wouldn't that be sad and lonely?
The whole thing is deception, and the Shaitan has control of the world. The great deceiver has control of the world.
And what's the biggest religion on earth?
And people have collective amnesia and don't even know it. Okay, they don't know who they are, they don't know where they are, and they don't know when they are. They've lied to you about where you live, who you are, and what the date actually is.
Wait, Savro. Flo asked you what is the biggest religion in the world.
I think at this point in time, I think Islam's the biggest.
That's not.
It would still be Christianity. Yeah.
Christianity.
I think. Yeah.
I mean,
Christianity.
How many of those Christians are? I guess what
it's going to be neck and neck. Actually, it's probably 50-50. To be honest with you,
I just looked it up like a week ago because this question came up, and the person tried to say the same thing. I think it's Islam now, which is not true, but Christianity's had a monopoly on it for the last 1,000 years, if history's true.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to shit specifically on Christianity. I'll shit on all of them. But the point that
how they've tried to twist it, a great example of how they've tried to twist it is the events that surround the Reformation.
Well, hold on. Let me finish the thoughts so that I don't just shit on religion to offend people and then not bring it around full circle.
Yeah,
you guys are worried about me because you saw me on the other one. Don't worry about me.
I was just trying to illustrate that religion are corrupt people's understanding of morals. I think that morals are perfectly logical for social species, and that religions usurp it and then confuse people on it, and that's that. That's all.
So it can be a god, but just not the God of the Bible. Not Yahweh.
No, that's not at all true. All religions.
You also have to a lot of times what they try to do too is they try to conflate morals with like biblical canon or laws of cleanliness, such as in Leviticus. And those aren't anything to do with morality at all. Right. Morality is best defined in the
let me make it and I'll make a token gesture of what's the Muslim law? Just to keep the people happy.
Oh, Leviticus 19 says.
Yeah, but that's immoral. Sharia. Sure. There's a great example of perversion of morality.
I don't like it. rocking the Casbah.
The Casbah, rock the Casbah.
But yeah, the thing is though, is when you start getting into that, like, you know, then they start trying to conflate morality with biblical canon and different religious laws. Pretty well outlined in the 10 Commandments, I would have to say. Natural law or God's law really kind of lays it all out there. You have the right to do whatever you want to as long as you cause no loss, injury, or harm to another. That's
really
pretty much it.
So you're saying you're a libertarian? Amen.
No, I'm not any kind of ism or Aryan at all. I am Dave, and that is all. I am unique.
Innocence. I didn't mean it like that.
No. I mean, the thing is, and as far as having any kind of political affiliation, none whatsoever. None. Okay, I don't believe that any other man or woman walking this earth has a higher claim over my life and my property than I do. I don't give a shit how many little shiny buttons they got on their suit.
Yep.
Or how big their podium is, or how grand their flags are.
All right, Sergeant, let's start throwing up signs.
Or how big their clown nose is.
Midwest.
I mean, if you really think about that, you're a grown adult. You're your own person. Why in the fuck would you allow somebody else to dictate what you do and do not do? As long as you're conducting yourself in a manner that is not in a negative fashion toward your fellow man, then what the fuck? You're doing good.
Yeah.
What is the right? It's anything that is right. And what is right? Anything that's not wrong. It doesn't do harm or cause loss, or, you know, that it's so fucking simple. It really is. I mean, most people don't realize it, but they live about 90% of their life or more in a state of anarchy. Nobody told you what time to get up today. Nobody told you when to do anything at all unless you agreed to it.
They will try soon. They will put us all in smart cities and tell us when to poop.
I don't
You'll wake up and get your regularly digital currency. No longer.
I mean, I think that the control systems of the future are more euphoric, right? They'll love their slavery. I don't think it'll be.
The idea.
I think we're kind of already in it. Like, let's
my god,
yeah.
I mean, are we though? I mean, the most amount of iPhones, highest technology, but it's like the highest depression rates.
Where are we at? We're in the Hunger Games, man.
But would we give up our iPhones? All these depressed people, the only source of their dopamine drip is their iPhones or their or their Xanax or whatever the fuck it is.
Or VR headsets.
I prefer having sex with strangers.
When they get out of it, it's even more miserable, right? Yeah, fair enough.
Well, the thing is that they do have people enslaved with that thing, and it's really interesting to see how connected to those little devices people actually are. And a fun little experiment: do it with somebody you know. Don't do it to a stranger because you might get hit. But if they're sitting there near you and they got their phone sitting down next to the table or something right there in front of them, just reach over like you're gonna grab it and watch how they react. They'll act like you tried to touch their dick.
I mean, I'd react the same way if you tried to grab my keys, though, or my wallet. You know, any of my personal effects.
Right. But it's that intimately connected to everyone because of the fact that it is
not only is it
so much information.
It's not just a little TV, a little information, a little entertainment device. It also has all of your information. So it makes sense why it became a valuable.
Yeah, and it's expensive to replace. I mean, I think it's the same response. If somebody reached over and tried to grab my Coke off the table, I would respond not as viscerally because I'll get another one for $1. But I would have the same reaction, like, what the fuck are you doing in my personal space, bro?
Do you think that there's any justification in this day and age of mass production, like these phones are, for the exorbitantly high cost of them? I don't. I think that the exorbitantly high cost of them is, one, to get you to finance it through the phone company. They're making money that way. And secondly, to add that same sense of value to it. Because let's face it, old Something Wong's brother works at the fucking Nokia factory, and he's cranking out about 300 of those fucking things an hour. Okay. So it's not like it's some delicate thing and they got to be doing it in a clean room or something, man.
I think his name's
They're
Yankin'
running
Wong.
these out of a factory and they're putting them in these boxes and shit. There's no way in hell that their overhead is that much money, especially when they're paying his brother. Something Wong's brother makes a half.
Yeah, but every business wants to maximize.
Yankin' Wong.
Yeah, there's not an industry on earth that'll go, you know what? We have pretty cheap input costs. We're going to lower prices this year. I mean, it's just business.
Yeah, but the thing is that people will continue to pay it. Now, if somebody really wanted to cut a hog in the ass, they could actually offer a phone at half the price, right?
And they do. If you need government phone,
they
you need an Obama phone.
Well, the Obama phone, though, if you want more than the 12 minutes a month they give you with it, then you have to go out and purchase time cards.
If you go into any Sprint store, or if you like, I have Verizon. I broke my phone on a job. I need another one right now. They always have one or two models that are on sale right now for half the price of the rest of them. Always.
All right, let me take it back because I missed half of this conversation. I want to bring it back a few minutes because I missed it because I was arguing with my kids to go to bed. So apologize. You guys were talking about TV and all this kind of stuff. My wife's been big on watching the what's this show? Oh my God! I just missed it. Oh, I just missed my head. Hold on.
The kind of husband you are, Jesus.
The dog
whisperer. He wasn't putting the kids to bed. He was over smoking a blunt. He just didn't want us to know about that.
That wasn't a blunt. You don't like blunts from the bottom, Dave.
I don't like
the bottom whisperer.
I want to call it House on the Prairie because that's not it. Is that it? House on the Prairie?
Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie.
Laurel Ingalls?
Yeah. That's it. So she's telling me a couple of jokes this week because my wife's been watching this show. And she got two on me. She says, so do you know when Eve was created? Do you know what time of the day Eve was created? That was it. That was one of them.
You're telling me that your wife works as an OBGYN and she's making Little House on the Prairie jokes?
Yes.
I feel like she's sourcing the wrong part of her life.
All right, anybody know it? So what time of the day was Eve created?
At night.
Dinner time.
Summers.
No, what time of the day was Adam created? Just before Eve. That was it. I'm sorry.
Oh boy,
right, so that was one of them. That was actually from that show.
Why did you tell us that?
You guys got it because it's gonna plant a seed. That's why.
Okay.
Summer's Eve. That's my answer.
Yeah.
This is what my wife tells me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you're killing me."
I didn't realize your wife was a dad.
Yeah,
with those dad jokes she's swinging around.
Yeah. She loves the dad jokes. There was another one too. I'll think of it. Hold on.
I'm gonna go drink some antifreeze.
You don't have to. You're all right. You don't have to. Don't just let it go.
Summer's Eve and Adam's Apple.
If it's the runner-up of that gem, probably not wanting to really get it.
But I do appreciate you setting me up for a couple little quippy one-liners. So it wasn't a total loss.
All I can say is imagine how far we've gone. Like you guys were saying, like from that to where we are now.
I know TV's way better now.
I mean, it is way better. I'm not gonna, Beavis and Butthead is what I grew up on.
I hate that shit is so annoying. I don't.
It ain't I grew up on that stuff. That was my stuff.
I mean, I did too. I enjoyed it back then, but now same with Little John.
I'm like,
my 14-year-old daughter didn't know who Little John was. I was like, you don't know, and I pulled up a music video from on my cell phone, showed it to her. That shit did not age well. She's like, what the fuck is this? It's retarded. I'm like, you're right. It's retarded, sweetie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good. All right.
For some reason, millennials have an over Fantastic.
I grow TP out of my pool. I mean, seriously.
Well, listen,
yeah, Jonathan,
guys.
I think it's because I said crunk or referred to my cup as my crunk chalice or something like that. She didn't get the reference.
This will get clipped. Watch, Sovereign. Yeah. Now that last part will get clipped, and then it'll be me with Will Duffy. Ready? Yeah. That'll get clipped. Anyways, all right, it's all good.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, listen, guys, I'm going to land this plane, man. We're going at 3.5 hours. I think
All
that's
right.
Time to crash into the ocean.
Thank you for having me.
Right on. So I want to
It was a
thank
nice
everybody
time
for coming on. And yeah, some good discussions.
Thank you.
Discussions. We'll be on again tomorrow night, same time, same place, 9:35 Eastern. I guess that's 6:35 Pacific. Look at there. I can do math.
Oh, wait, I got another one for you. Here it is. Here's my wife's other one. Did you know that
Don't
baseball?
trust the man. What's your thing? Damn it.
Did you know that baseball's in the Bible?
No.
In the big inning.
I remember when I lost my mind.
That's not my wife. My wife's pretty cute. You guys might you might fall all over her, but
Don't tell me that Mike Fart didn't give you a halfie.
That's good.
Did you ever see this one? This is great. I love this one. This is, and always keep this in mind. This is a great lesson, everybody.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Live by it. All right, guys. Till tomorrow night.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Don't forget, Lord loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey, and see your doctor and get rid of his ass because he'll probably kill you. We'll see you next time.
That's the one.
All right, guys, take care.